here at Avalanche Software, celebrating the launch day
Yay!
of Hogwarts Legacy, and we are so excited to have you here with us. This is Lynette from Wizard PhD. Many of you out there may not know who Lynette is, but for myself, I'm Chandler Wood, community manager here at the studio. For myself, it's really important to me that we embraced our community and the people who really love this franchise and this game. And we've done that in the past with some of the showcases you've seen and everything.
Super
and we
fun.
finally got you on your work trip.
I finally have a work
You
trip.
finally have a work
also,
trip.
First time Salt Lake City. Very excited to be here. It's
never
cold.
have I ever. Salt Lake City.
No, I can't. Now I'm here.
So welcome. We're absolutely thrilled to have you.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for the gameplay stream. We're going to play through the first 2 hours of the game. But
Good stuff.
Given all of the some of the technical issues we had earlier this week with some of our streaming, we want just everything to be as buttoned up as we can and figuring out all those issues. So they're not quite ready yet.
Right.
So
I will say, so when I, as a streamer, when I have, it happens to all of us, I usually partake in a Birdie Butts every flavor bean. Would you like to partake?
Please.
In
I want to
one?
take part in this classic
All right.
Wizard PhD.
Yes. You can't look. You just
You just go in.
You just
go
dive
for
in.
it.
Yeah, okay.
So no looking.
Don't look.
While I'm doing this, I want to ask. A lot of people may have started playing the game already. Where are you at in the game? What are you? What do you do? Okay, this is a scary one.
No.
It's kind of pink. It's got some colored
But that's
speckles
the fun. Is
on
like,
it.
is it good? Is it bad? Definitely don't want to be the. Mine. I know these by heart. I know which one yours is, and I know which one mine is.
All right, let's see.
Ready?
Bubble gum.
Yeah. It's a banana. Banana. Good flavors.
Yeah.
We're on a good start
strong.
right
good,
here.
Good streak starting off.
Oh
All right.
my goodness.
So what are you most excited about being here for and seeing today?
During the gameplay?
Yeah, when we play the game, we're gonna be playing the intro again.
Yes, I've played the intro many times. Just because I have to make a new character, like I want a character for each house. They all have their specific names and their own, like, in my headcanon, their backstory, who they are. So I've redone this many times, but what I love, especially being a longtime Harry Potter fan, is just the mystery and like trying to dive deep into Hogwarts Legacy. This is our world to explore. This is our legacy to write. And that's what I'm most excited when I see people come in and they're like, oh, I just played it. Like, I can't believe, what I saw. So I'm very excited for everyone to start their own journeys and to be able to live this unwritten. All
right. For those just joining us, we are getting ready to do our gameplay live stream of the first 2 hours of the game. They're not quite ready yet, so I think what we're going to do, while we're waiting for them to finish up getting everything ready, I think I want to take you on a little tour of the studio to meet some of the talented and wonderful people here at the studio who made this game possible and see where the magic comes to life. Also, you get this wonderful behind-the-scenes view of what our showcase area looks like.
Such a setup, my goodness.
I don't think people have really seen this before, so that's exciting. We haven't even left the mocap room yet.
Oh, wow, yes.
And look at this, our first...
Hey.
I love the outfit.
Guys. Can you
You're
tell
so
these
stylish.
are the mocap guys? I don't know
This is a look.
if it's obvious.
It's my Gryffindor colors.
Griffin, yep,
Chandler and Lynette, welcome to the mocap space / our studio now.
Sorry, we took half of it over,
Hey, we all have fun. But yeah, we were just having Matt come in and kind of demonstrate a little bit of what we do here. All of our mocap that we do in this room is what you find in the game for our animations, like anything from our wow moments to the animations of your avatar, like running around.
Yeah.
It was all made in this space.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to just kind of showcase a little bit of how that all came to be and what goes into it. And Matt volunteered to jump in the suit.
Oh, a demo.
Absolutely.
A demo.
And we would actually like your help with it.
Oh.
There are some different things that we do for mocap to like get a shoot going. There's some calls to be made.
Oh, okay.
If you guys want to help out.
Professional.
Absolutely.
It's almost like magic.
Yeah.
So the first thing is I'll go over to the station to actually push the buttons.
Okay.
And you'll say mocap ready, and I'll say ready. And I'll say, and then you'll say roll mocap, and then I'll roll it, and then I'll call back saying rolling.
Okay.
Okay. And then when you're done, you say cut.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, and then make sure to tell him action to go.
Otherwise, he just stands around.
Yeah.
Okay, so mocap ready,
Mocap ready.
and then you say roll mocap,
Roll mocap.
and then I'll say rolling, and then you tell him action.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Let's
and
do
then
it.
cut. All right, let's do it.
Looks like he's back
It's
there.
so fun. I like it.
Mocap ready?
Ready.
Rolling. Mocap rolling.
Rolling.
Action. Oh dear. This is a predicament.
I mean, this is
I
this
can-
is a callback to this. It's the vanishing step.
Yes, I could. Imagine you're a first year. This is your first year at Hogwarts, and you're just like going to class.
And it looks like he's forgotten his wand too.
Oh, you gotta have your wand ready.
If we don't say cut, is he just here?
Oh yeah,
for-
just as long as we want.
as we just
That's
walk
like-
away, he's just stuck here. Guys, where are you going?
Oh, and cut. Back to yes, yeah, exactly. That's so cool.
And I love that we get this real-time demonstration
That
too.
you can
That's
see
really
it,
cool
yeah.
technology where
Yeah.
you can see what's going into the game in real time. You don't have to map it and then go back and forth and everything.
Right.
It's just
yeah.
right there. And then he can loop the animation now, so that's what just got recorded.
Oh yes.
And after
But-
this, we take it upstairs and we clean it.
Nice.
Yeah, the animation guys make sure it looks even better.
Nice.
So we have a little surprise for you today.
A surprise.
Oh, we got a
I'm
surprise.
for surprises. I'm for
Perfect.
surprises.
Here.
Oh.
I'll show you here.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we're going to show you. Here you're coming.
Yes.
They knew
Oh,
you
boy.
were coming.
Oh boy.
I told the studio. The studio's very excited you're here.
Oh my goodness! It's Prof Lynette, complete with purple hair. Yeah.
Prof
I'm
Lynette is
like,
stuck
wait,
in the
what?
vanishing step.
Yes, this would be me though. I'd be like, wait, what do I do now? Oh, well. I love this sort of surprise, like, yeah. Oh. If I could just get this one leg out. Oh, amazing. Oh, that's
It
great.
doesn't look too bad, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's
it looks
awesome.
great.
That's
I love
awesome.
it. I love it. It's so fun. Oh,
Thank you
that the
guys
dejection.
so much for showing
Thank
us
you.
this. This is a
So
lot of fun
great.
to be able to see this. I
Yeah.
know you guys set this up special for
Yeah,
us being
thank
here.
you.
So.
Thanks.
But we have many more people to see, so we're going to be moving on a little bit here. We get a little glimpse at the technical view
Okay.
of everything
Okay.
going on here.
Yes.
The magic that Aaron
the
works.
wizardry, the
uh,
magic.
over here
That's
as well.
Happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, thank you, Aaron, for
Amazing.
that
Thank
surprise.
you.
Have a good time.
I love it. Oh.
All right. I can't stop smiling. And I work here and I talk to these people all the time, and it's just so much fun, the talent that is here.
There are so many people who have worked on this game. I mean, and different departments collaborating. It's wonderful to see.
And with my job, obviously, as community manager and
Yeah.
having you here and everything, I'm so excited to get to share all of this with you, because that's my dream. That's the thing that
Yeah.
I love, and bringing this to people. And so, this moment to me is a huge one where I get
I'm
to
just
I
fangirling
get to
internally.
be your tour guide through the studio. Actually, here I think we
Oh.
have the audio team as well. We got
Audio.
we got a full house here. Let's see.
Hello.
Let's
Oh,
hop
hi.
on this.
Oh no, that's me. That's me.
Uh,
Hello. All right, let's step over this.
They're watching
Hello.
Prof Lynette videos right now.
Y'all are fans? Okay. Oh, amazing. Audio. Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing? Okay, so everyone loves the music. Everyone loves the sounds of Hogwarts Legacy. So I just wanted to chat with y'all a little bit, maybe ask some questions that you could give me some insights on. So, okay, music first. How many hours are overall in Hogwarts Legacy? The soundtrack, the music of Hogwarts Legacy. How many hours would you estimate?
We don't have an exact number, but I know for me personally, I wrote about 70 hours of music. Not all of that's
Wow.
going to be in the game, but there's a lot
Oh
there.
my goodness, amazing. Yeah. And of course, so music sets the tone, like we have the themes of it, but there's also sounds. I love sounds in games. So one of the things I was wondering as well is, what was the most challenging sound to get right? There's a lot of sounds, throughout the game, but is there any that you want to shout out as maybe the most challenging to get right?
Well, I think that some of the sounds that we're really proud of, that we worked on, that I felt was really important for us to get right, was Lumos.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why is everyone knows that sound, and
Definitely.
so it's kind of almost canon, so it was really important for us to get that right. And we worked on that early on just to kind of make sure that it was the correct sound, you know. And then working through the game on other sounds, especially all of the spells. We referred to, or we went back and looked at all of the soundtrack and all of the sorry.
You're good.
I'm sorry. So we went back and looked through all of those old movies and kind of looked at the spells and how they all sounded, and noticed that through time the spells kind of progressed in their language. And
yes, no, that's important.
And we kind of took a look at all of the sounds through that time period and looked at the current stuff and said, these sounds are kind of where we want to go with the you guys. I sure hope you have the original recording of what I did.
You're good. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of, you want the magic to feel alive, and I definitely think that sound in this game really contributes to that. So
some of these guys helped with our ASMR videos too. So the sounds that we got in there, we got some good stuff. So
some crunching, some footsteps. Amazing work, y'all.
Amazing work from all of you, from the music and the audio. Thank you. We could sit in here and talk to you about it all day, but we've got a gameplay stream eventually to get to. So thank you so much. All right. So the audio team, great bunch of guys. We're getting to some loud fans here. You may not be able to hear us. I don't know. How this audio
here.
Computers, it's all for our remote workers.
Okay.
So a lot of people are set up as remote employees. We got the bank of computers where they're remoting in. We're also passing through the QA area here, and
all the good testing.
Yep.
Finding bugs.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, we are not quite ready for our gameplay stream yet. We're touring through Avalanche software, through the studio, and meeting people,
it's
showing
a celebration.
you celebrating launch day, showing you how the magic is made. So I think we're gonna go up to floor 9 right now. So let's hop in this elevator here. The elevator just opens. We're gonna head up to floor 9 and
you know what? So I already have my Twitch drops, because the thing that I love is dressing my character up in some fancy swag. So that's
something.
Cloak. The Merlin's cloak. That's something that if you're watching, you can get those drops. Get those.
So you got it earlier this week.
I did. No, luckily I did.
Before this work trip,
ready.
Work trip happened. All right. So we are going to head into here. Beep this open. All right. Welcome to Avalanche Software. This is the heart of the operations center, right? This is where magic happens. We've got the 9th floor and the 10th floor.
Nice.
I think there's a lot of things I want to show you here on the 9th floor. In particular, I know just around this corner is a wall of concept art that I'm really excited for you to see.
Yes. The behind the scenes for State of Play, I loved seeing all that concept art. So
some of this may feel like familiar concept art, and some of it may be some new stuff as well.
Good. Secrets.
So we're going to come down here, right here. You can start seeing all of this.
Ghost. Oh man, I definitely could stare at this for hours. Look how beautiful. I love the water in this game as well.
Yeah, it's really incredible work that they did.
Where's
on
the
everything.
Hufflepuffs in the chat? Common room. That shout out right there. Oh,
and look, it's art director Jeff Bunker.
Hi.
Wow, art director.
Hello. How are you?
So if you have questions or comments or heaps of praise or anything,
oh my gosh, I just want to stare at this all day.
Here's one of the team.
Start with heaps of praise.
Heaps of praise? No, yes, because everything is gorgeous in this game. Like that's one of the first things is being able to walk around, not just Hogwarts itself, but like just the area of you're exploring this world and seeing it come to life, and also kind of nodding back to what we're familiar with, but still having a unique presence to Hogwarts Legacy itself, I think is really cool.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
This is kind of a, it's scary to have you look at this wall.
I know, I'm just like, wait, can I, how long are we going to be here?
This is kind of a sneak peek in some of our older stuff.
Yeah.
But it gives you an idea of where we've come from. I mean, you'll see that some of the stuff is a little bit more stylized and a little bit more even cartoony.
Yeah.
But it was a good place to start, even though it was important that we left that because we needed to get more grounded and because that allowed the magic to pop.
Right.
So let me ask you.
Oh, I get questions.
Yes,
Okay.
I've got to ask you.
Yes.
So I've got a daughter. I bet you she's about your age, and she's a huge fan.
Yes.
And she has those moments in the movies and in the books and stuff like that. There's things that strike a chord for her.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering if you felt that in her game, because as a dad and that was important to me. I'm just wondering if you experienced that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Of course, it's a gorgeous world, but then to have the element of, being a longtime fan and having connections to other visuals of the wizarding world, and then being able to, the thing that's unique about games as a playable media is that you can walk around it, and so to feel that in that space, or the space that was created, is just completely magical. Well done.
Did it feel new to you?
So I do think there is that sense of familiarity. It's not like, oh, this is complete, I've never seen anything like this before, but it has that, magical, like, sort of quirkiness of the wizarding world. I think it really fits that for sure.
That makes me so happy. Because we really didn't want it to feel like you'd already been there.
Right.
That it was, Harry Potter's Hogwarts. We wanted this to be yours. This was your first time going, so we wanted there to be surprise and delight around every corner.
For sure, absolutely. No.
And I know you've got some interesting stories about some of these things along here. For example, the castle back here. I think you mentioned how one is different from the other.
This is the very first image that we did of Hogwarts.
Yeah.
And I loved it, but you can see that it's a little less grounded, and like this one. This one's closer to what we ended up with.
Right.
And a little bit more real, and because it was important that you start with something that is, especially when you're trying to be yourself, that you're not stylized, you're not cartoony, that you are experiencing it as real.
Yep.
And then the charm and the magic pops off the screen.
Right.
That's why you'll notice that all the images we have here, they're kind of subdued and they're muted colors. They're not bright because we needed the magic to stand out on top of that.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels homey and like welcoming. Those are the vibes that I get. You
are using all the right words. You ought to be an artist.
Oh well, no, you don't want to see me. Oh, beautiful.
I know down here too we've got some stuff with the Scottish Highlands.
I can take forever these images. Each one of our artists are just so good, and so I love talking about.
Do we even need to get to the gameplay at this point?
Let's
just stay here. Let's just stay here.
Let's analyze everything and be like, this is what this looks like.
Yeah, this is a good example of what we were doing, searching for ways to expand the Scottish Highlands, because most Scottish Highlands is a little bit like this, where it's kind of tundra and it's there's not a lot of trees and that type of thing.
Right.
And so we were trying to explore, like how do you do a bog or a swamp? Yeah, and so we were taking inspiration from how they did the Forbidden Forest in the films, where they had those huge, gigantic trees.
Yeah.
But we were thinking, well, what if you do that with more swamp-like, gnarly oak trees? And so it's that type of inspiration.
And more water to wade in.
Yeah. The hamlets, just.
Oh.
And then the whimsy of the objects and everything too.
Yeah,
I love this one.
This one, how does this physically work? Magic.
It doesn't, exactly. That's the point. It doesn't fit. I mean, it's kind of like the Weasley home. It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
And then getting into our characters. I love that this wall kind of tells a story along the way.
Yeah, and this is a scary story.
Oh.
But you know where it ended up, so I don't have those images here, but you can see that we started out more cartoony.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, with
the first couple months we were really stylizing it. But there's something to be gained from this because we were trying to really find personality.
Right.
And so when we started working on the photoreal, we were taking the inspiration from these characters that were more broad in the way the artist was approaching them, and try to incorporate that into the photoreal.
Yeah.
So here's a good example.
Fig.
Yeah,
He's so
Fig started out
cute.
much more.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like it.
I don't have the final here, but he's closer to what we have here with Percival.
Right.
Hopefully everyone out there has the final right now. You can
Exactly.
start up the game, play it, and
So this is where
we'll
it
see
started,
Final Fig
but
later.
you'll see you'll see the final Fig.
Oh,
He's in the
great.
intro, so we'll see him pretty quickly here.
Oh, yes.
And I'm a huge fan of where we ended up on the patches.
Yeah,
I like
I
how
love
they were
them.
simplified and very readable.
Yeah.
Obviously, for games, we have to make things
Yeah.
more readable, and so I think we were pretty successful.
Shout out to
there.
Ravenclaw Eagle. Yeah. That's my
Hufflepuff.
house. That's my house. In
Oh,
case you
no.
didn't- Like, I love.
Speaking of houses
Speaking
here,
of
we've
houses.
got this is how you know the studio has a love and
I know, look
passion
at this.
for this franchise and everything that we're doing. Is
Oh, wow.
we've all signed up. We all, we're not just here just working on a game, but
You'll notice I'm right
there you
there at
go.
the top
There you
there's
go.
the
There you go.
Hufflepuff. We've got
Proud.
Ravenclaws.
Yep.
Proud Slytherin
Amazing.
here.
Yes.
And the fact that we all know our house and
Yeah.
have the sign up sheet and everything.
And that you highlight it when you're like featured
Oh,
on
yeah.
stuff. It's just
Yeah.
like, yes, fans making this
You-
game amazing.
You'll need to take the time to sign it sometime.
Oh.
After
I
we
might
get done with this
sneak in here.
celebration,
Yeah.
you're an
Like,
honorary member
Ravenclaw.
now. Yeah, let's. All right,
Amazing.
we could stay and talk to you all day, but
Thank you so much.
we can
It
head
was
down
so
here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, where are we headed to next?
Where are we headed to next? Well, actually, we might pass John's office. John is our studio head, and so
Okay.
I'm hoping that he might be able to step out here and say a few words. But he's also in some meetings.
Oh,
He is in
busy,
some meetings
busy.
right now. Always busy. He's having a great time.
It's a big week, okay?
it's a huge week. It's a huge week.
Yeah.
But before we go much further, there's a few other people I think we want to talk to that will actually
Okay.
be on the stream later. But first, I want to show you something
Okay.
that I absolutely love.
Oh, I see it.
Is this view.
Yep.
Something I really, really love about working here
Wow.
is you just come out here and you have this really incredible view of the valley.
This right here. This is the view.
City Hall.
It's the
You get
view.
kind of a Hogwarts light in a way.
Yeah,
You
can I
get the
take a
mountains
look?
up there. This is just beautiful. One of my favorite parts of working here is just really inspiring and kind of like makes you kind of catch your breath and take
Yeah,
a moment.
no, it's-
As much as the stress of like making a game can be,
Yeah. Wow.
So I had to show you
Beautiful,
that really
yeah.
quickly before we move on. But
great.
we'll keep going in here
Okay.
down
Continuing
to.
on.
Let's see.
Well.
All right. While we're going over to, I believe we're going to see Troy.
Okay.
He's around the corner here. I just want to ask fans and viewers what their favorite part of all of this has been so far. What's been your favorite part of watching this, of the tour, of walking through?
I mean, the behind the scenes is I'm having an epic time. I love seeing behind the scenes stuff. Just the making of, it takes a lot of work to make something like Hogwarts Legacy to happen and to get everyone's unique perspectives as well.
Yeah, so sorry about the wonky angles here. We have an active studio. There are people around the studio. Avalanche has a big history as well, so there are things on the walls that we can't necessarily show you.
Yeah.
So if we go down to like foot views and weird views of the walls and everything, we're just trying to creatively get around that. But
Hello.
here we are. This is Troy Johnson, AI and combat design.
Yes, Troy.
Troy.
Yes. Hello.
Okay.
Welcome.
I know you have
Hi.
questions.
I have
know you
questions.
have questions.
So the thing with me is that as a gamer, I am very chaotic. Combat's not necessarily the thing. I'm like, you don't want to watch me for pro content for that, but it's always a good time. And so I was like, okay, how is the combat going to be? And honestly, it is one of my favorite parts of the experience, because even when I die, I'm just like, yes, let's like have another run. I'm going to try this time, or switch up strategies or tactics. And it's been a blast to experience combat.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, that means, honestly, that means the world to us. We've had a lot of people work really, really hard and we're so happy with the response that it's been getting. But thank you for that.
For sure. Okay, so as someone who also might need a little help in combat, do you have any tips or like, you know, secret combos or things that you want to, also for everyone else who might want to get a little leg up on combat, what would you suggest?
Yes, so there are a couple things. First thing that I would say, if you're interested to try out, turn off camera relative targeting. If you want an experience more like some other action games where it's based on your avatar facing rather than the camera. We think the camera works really well for people who are used to long range type games. But there are those who I think would really appreciate the turning off camera-based targeting and playing in more kind of traditional action game style. So that's one. One, I think another one is spell combos. Like there are a lot of really cool spell combos that have special effects that you would either be surprised or unexpected. So practice trying them. My favorite one, I would say, I love Glacius, so freezing somebody and then hit them with a high damage spell, and if it's a defeating blow, it shatters them, and just the effect is awesome, and it looks really cool and makes you feel awesome. So watch out for spell combos like that, and then dueling feats and the field guide. Pay close attention to those in combat,
tips right here,
because they will give you a lot of insight on how to best defeat certain enemies and take advantage of special weaknesses or what to watch out for. So.
Well, I'm prone to fire. I love destruction. And so this exploding thing, I'm definitely gonna try out.
Yes, do it for sure. It's awesome.
All right. Well, we will see you at the stream
Oh,
downstairs in just a few minutes. So we're gonna keep going around here.
Thanks.
Thank you. And a great thing about Troy too, he did actually choreography for the combat as well. So we were just down in mocap, and so he handled a lot of like the spell choreography that you see that feels really magical. Again, the wonky angles. Enjoy our feet. There are things on the walls. The extensive history of Avalanche.
Lots of good work.
All right. Next up we have Boston and the Hogwarts team here. These are the architects of the world.
Working. Hi.
Busy working. Is that Minesweeper I see? They got 3 people all gathered around Minesweeper. No, it is actually the game there. 3-person Minesweeper, that'd be interesting.
Oh man.
All right.
Welcome to the Hogwarts team.
Yes. Oh, it's so great.
This is Dave. He is our head lighter.
Hi.
And
Oh yeah.
It is thanks to Dave that the castle actually looks amazing, because he actually makes our art look really, really pretty.
Yeah.
If you like the Slytherin common room,
I like the Slytherin common room. I'm not even a Slytherin.
He's the one that figured out how to make green lighting look cozy and gorgeous and not creepy.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah, it can't actually be green, it turns out. So that was
serious.
trick.
I think that was one of the hardest areas in the castle.
Yeah, we tried lighting it with actual green emissive light.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Well, because the book
books,
wants
right?
green lamps.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so close to lore.
Yeah.
Right.
We tried to be faithful to the book, but then it just it made it look a little bit too sickly looking everywhere.
He
So
tried so hard getting those green lamps to work.
Yeah.
Just Boston.
the lampshades are still green.
They don't
Good.
work
But the lights
green.
won't.
It just won't look nice. So
Yeah.
I think it's one of my favorite common rooms, even though I'm a Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw hype.
So-
I'm gonna keep saying that over and over. Ravenclaw hype.
So if you like the Slytherin common room, it's because of Dave's 6, 7, 8 different lighting passes too.
Amazing.
Make it
Oh
gorgeous.
gosh. Well, I know that we had met before in LA, and so Boston Fan Club.
Not
Gotta
turning
shout that
each
out. Boston Fan Club, are you here? Just attention to detail, and that's something that I've seen over and over as people have started to play the game and then showing off. So you studied a lot, or your team also. Like you guys
Well, let me
went
introduce
diving deep.
Jake, he's
Yes.
our Ravenclaw on the team.
Ravenclaw.
If you like the library, he's responsible for that. And also, I think, speaking of architecture, I think,
Yeah.
Jake, you referenced quite a bit of like the National Wallace Monument in Scotland for
for the Owlery.
for the
Oh, wow.
Owlery. So,
Yeah.
yeah, reaching deep into those architecture roots, especially if it's part of Scotland.
And I heard you made rocks too.
Oh, rock
You make
master.
rocks and
Rock
cliffs.
master.
I love the cliffs.
The
in our
cliffs
game. They're
are
very
great,
nice.
yeah.
Very nice rocks.
I'm kind of the designated groundskeeper.
Yeah.
That's
Aww.
true. Any secrets on those rocks?
Secrets. We need secrets.
There are many secrets, but you're just gonna have to find them.
I think we can do it as a community. I think we can collectively find all of the secrets, all of the things.
So what's one of your favorite aspects of the castle? I know every time I come in and talk to Boston, for some reason I hear new things about the castle that I've never heard before.
Yeah.
That's why, like, what do I do here? I wander around and talk to people, just like, tell me about your day.
Boston, can you say more?
I just think there's been so much passion put into the project from people that will never be on camera.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the love that's been put into, you know, we'll have a cool idea and ask for something, and then it comes back, and we just got this whole passion project that someone just poured their heart and soul into.
Yeah.
Shout out to some dueling knights out there.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
like,
so good.
This is a good idea. It comes back. Oh, it's just magnificent.
Yeah, well, I love seeing people share clips because there's these little things that it's like, wait, look at this thing. And so it's very well done.
Shout out to our animators who did that. One thing we were just discussing was you might find a hallway in Hogwarts that the portraits have taken over, and they're orchestrating, you know, they're making music and stuff, right? All the instruments as conductor and everything.
Yeah.
Something you might not notice, but our audio team saw that. They took one look at that and says, oh, we can do something with this.
Yeah.
And so actually the music in the hallway matches all the instruments that we have featured.
Yeah.
So they actually wrote music that matched the featured instruments. And actually I think if you walk up to the different portraits, you'll hear different
I've done that for a
instruments.
few.
I mean, you've got there's this cymbal guy. He's just waiting for his moment.
The moment, yeah.
Oh man, again, just the heart that's in there is.
Yeah, it definitely
really
makes
genuine.
it feel a lot like you're in this living, breathing, magical
and it's okay
world.
if no one notices that, because it's just
for fun.
just genuine. It's authentic.
Just part of it. Yeah.
It's it should feel real, and you don't have to notice it to feel that.
Well, speaking of people waiting for their moments, I think we've got people probably waiting downstairs for us, and we'll be seeing you in a few minutes on the gameplay stream as well.
Hi, thank you.
So we're headed out of here. Thank you so much. All right. Again, we're going down to the floor. We're gonna show some maybe
look, Hogwarts Castle maps.
Of all the different floors and secret things.
Oh boy.
I'm going to talk again about the history of Avalanche, because we got wonky camera angles. We've got here, you know, you really feel the presence of the studio and how long the studio has been around, but can't show that on camera. So
we're going to gameplay?
Yeah, I think we're heading around to gameplay. If we see anybody else along the way, I think we may be able to stop in, but I think we can kind of get done with this. If you're just joining us, we have just taken a tour of the studio.
So fun.
You've met so many people.
So many people.
You could have
so
stopped and talked to these people so much, so often.
Oh, there's people here.
We've got a few people in here actually.
Hello.
Hello. A whole group here. We've got EQ. Marketing manager. Marketing
guru, but he's actually he does most of the work. He does
Thank you. Wow. Okay.
Amazing.
Like walking around the studio with a mic in my hand and
just
try to be I didn't know tour guide was on my resume, but I guess it is now.
Add it.
One more check on the box.
Yeah. But we're also here with Cinematics, who did, you know, many people worked on the cinematics, but cinematic lighting, cinematics producer. This is Sophia and Becky.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Yeah, cinematics, gorgeous. I mean, I keep saying that to everyone. I'm like, amazing, gorgeous, wonderful, great work. Especially, I know we're gonna watch the intro in a little bit, but that like really took me for a ride, and so it was a perfect start, I think, to set the tone for the game. Like, there's a lot going on in there.
We spent a lot of time making sure that the intro was right. I'd say that there's a lot of, that's an area we spent a lot of our focused time. To make sure it was just right.
Yeah, you want to capture. Yeah, you want to capture the viewer's attention to pull you into the game farther.
Yes.
So you feel like it's worth it, and then you see the castle for the first time, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna do this now.
Absolutely. And so cinematics, y'all also did trailers for the game? Is that right? Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Worked on the Sony State of Play.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
The launch trailers.
The
a
launch
good chunk
trailer.
of cinematics. So that
Launch
was a
trailer.
fun
It's
one
so
for
good.
us.
Trailer's so cool.
Because it gives you like flashes and you're just like, yes, I want to do this. You know, that's
And there's so many little bits of the story that we tease in it.
Yeah.
That, like, before you play the game, you don't really understand that.
This is my favorite
And
thing.
when
Is
you
I'm
get-
gonna rewatch this.
Oh
and
my
be
god,
like,
After you
yeah.
play it.
Once you play
Yeah.
definitely rewatch the trailer.
All
You'll
that
be like,
Foreshadowing.
That's where that
All
moment
that.
was.
Didn't know was happening.
Like, what the
Right.
heck? They pulled that? Like, that's much deeper into the game than I thought it'd be. It's really cool.
Well, I
it
think
surprised me.
yeah, the marketing in general, I think, really captures that mystery that we love with the wizarding world. So I think excellent. Like I was already all in, but like every time something new came out, I was like, oh, how are they gonna top this? Oh, they just did. So excellent work.
And that's good. I feel like that's the trailer that I think we're probably most of us are the most proud of.
Yeah.
It has a ton of content in it.
And it was a culmination moment for us too. Like
Yeah.
We got here.
we got here.
Yes.
Yes. Speaking of getting here, we need to
Oh,
get there.
Yes.
All right.
So great to meet
So
you.
we're gonna
Thank
head
you.
down and play the intro now. Oh, EQ was gotta show off.
We got a matching one.
Celebrating the game.
Look at how
we got our matching.
amazing. Amazing.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're gonna head. I'm tripping over cords.
Live,
all right,
live,
we got it.
Okay.
All right, cool. So we are going to head downstairs now.
I've watched the intro so many times, but like each time I'm just like, okay, I can't wait to, get all hyped again.
Yeah,
I'm ready for
it's a
this.
great. I'm really excited to play through the opening of the game. Honestly, with how busy we've been this week, I haven't even had a chance to go down. Yes, thank you.
I don't work here anymore.
That's right. That's right. It's like, I haven't even had a chance to like sit down and play the game. I've played the game a lot, but like
segmented, like not all.
not from
through.
a chance to sit down and really play. But it's been amazing watching other people play.
Yeah, no, it's
seeing
so
the reactions
fun.
and everything
It's
to
so
that. So we're hopping in the elevator again. If you're just joining us, we're gonna go back to the 4th floor. If you're just joining us, we just did a tour of the studio. You got to meet a lot of great people. You got to meet and see some concept art.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have just like let you talk to people
I know.
all day, and I could have just
You
wandered
should,
off.
you can go do other things. Like you can just leave me, leave
Sure,
me up there.
sure.
It's-
We'll go do gameplay.
Yeah,
You've
well,
played the intro
I'm glad that
before,
we'll
right?
get to chance to talk more.
Yeah, with some people we'll have Alan and Boston and
Right.
Troy who will be on the gameplay live stream with us, playing
Okay.
through the intro, through the first 2 hours of the game.
Yeah.
It's a celebration.
It is
It is
a
a celebration
celebration.
today. Global launch day. We're here.
Launch,
The game
Twitch
is
drops.
out.
There's all sorts of goodies that are happening here.
And thank you so much for being here
thank
with
you for
us to
having me.
celebrate it.
Yeah.
It again, it means so much to be able to include the community in this,
Yeah.
in this celebration.
We've had a lot of fun seeing the stuff that we feel the love from the community, and we want to extend it back to y'all for sure.
Thank you, and we're again ecstatic to have you here. This was my design all along was that I wanted to celebrate the community, celebrate the people that got us here, the people that are the reason that we do this.
Yeah.
So this is what that is.
Well, thank you. Oh.
And so we're back here, and it looks like they
We're
are
yeah,
all
look.
set up. We're in a good
Magic,
place to be able to get to actually playing gameplay. So we are going to shut off the house lights.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have Ryan queue up the next scene,
ready.
and we will see you on the couch in a second. All right, we are back here. We are ready for our launch day celebration gameplay live stream. We got the intro pulled up.
Oh my goodness.
We did your character last night. We were doing some tech tests because earlier this week we had some issues, but I think everything's running perfectly now.
Great.
We just got done with a studio tour, if you're just joining us, and we met and talked to some wonderful people.
So many great people.
Got amazing stories about the development of this game, the passion of this project. And speaking of the passion of the project and amazing people, I want to bring out 3 people who are going to play through the intro with us and continue to talk to us about the game. Game director Alan Tew and combat designer Troy. Lots of cheering. Alan Tew sneaking under the boom mic there. Combat designer Troy Johnson.
Hello again.
Hi. and the Hogwarts expert, the lore expert, the person who knows so much about the wizarding world that I can't even comprehend, Boston Madsen.
Yay.
Some of these faces may be familiar to many of you, some of them may be new, but I'm so excited to welcome you all here today and to be able to celebrate launch today. Like,
yes, oh my gosh.
How are you all feeling right now? Like,
you're looking at me. I'll start.
All of you. I guess I'm going along the line, but
I'm buzzing. Like I'm literally. There are shaking. I feel electricity in my body. It's unreal. I can't believe we're here. It's been a long time. I'm gonna tear up for all these people watching. Don't make fun of me.
No.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Alan, I know you were on with us Tuesday as well, but like today's almost even more. Like Tuesday was early access, so it was getting real, but today's really real, right? Like today's, I don't know. This week has been a lot. What are you feeling right now?
No, it's a big deal. It's really surreal because like your whole life for so many years has been making it, and then it's almost like when you're not making it anymore, it's like what am I doing now? But yeah, I'm tired and thrilled, and I've been watching everyone like lurking. Like I think a lot of creators don't know how much lurking I've been doing. It's like I want to shout out tips and stuff. Like no, go in this way, but I'm trying not to backseat.
Don't backseat.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's incredible, and I'm so excited. It's like your kid going to college, and you hope you did right, and that everyone likes them. But yeah, it's just exciting to see how everyone interacts with what it is.
Boston, what are you feeling right now?
Surreal is the right word. I was telling Alan, we've protected the secrets of this game for so long that when I see things online, I'm like, shh, you can't show anyone that. It's like, oh no, wait, it actually is out there now. But I'm still so like protective. I'm like, I'll say, that's a surprise. So it's exciting.
We're getting framing instructions too. Oh. I need you to scoot in close.
Live adjustment. Oh, so sweet.
Oh, thank you.
So sweet.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into gameplay in a second, but I know Prof Lynette here has some great traditions that she does with her live streams.
Okay, I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to ruin the celebration. I hope somebody gets a bad bean. So we're gonna go down. Good bean. Last night was great.
This whole time. Yeah, we've had no bad beans so far.
We'll start with Boston. Don't look in. But just pull one out.
Yeah.
And we go all at the same time.
That's a scary color.
Oh, okay. So we might only have to do. Okay. Okay. I wish we could zoom in on the door. Just kidding. What do you think it is? It was a gray color?
Yeah, it's not bad though.
Really?
It's edible.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like the one that you had.
It's not normal, but I don't know.
It's not normal.
Well, what's weird is that it's still a jelly bean, so there's, it's not the worst, but the flavor is.
Is this where we find out that Boston considers puke edible?
Yeah. Boston's like, I'll just eat the bad ones. It's good. It's good.
It's kind of leathery. I don't really.
Leathery. Okay, I'm pretty sure if it was gray, I think it was black pepper. Does that taste?
Black pepper.
Okay.
I'll have to keep thinking about it.
Maybe not.
All right, Alan.
Do I?
Do I? Yes.
Do I?
Yes. This is the celebration.
Do I show it? I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. Well, no, it's fine.
Okay. That's a good color.
Okay.
Oh, what? Everyone's all like, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I think Andrew had
cherry.
Yeah, this is just joy.
Okay, it's either
joy,
cherry, or cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Okay, I don't like the cinnamon flavor. I don't know if I'm in the minority.
So mine was kind of purpley gray.
All right.
Purple. Oh.
I'm gonna dive in here.
I feel like we need one monster.
We need someone to get vomit. Another. Okay.
I feel pretty safe.
I'm
with
sorry.
This
is. We're gonna have to do another one at the end because this is.
Yeah, we'll come back to this.
Not getting the desired result.
Yeah, that's cinnamon. That's
me and Alan. I love how I'm just like, can I please torture you?
So what
have you been through enough?
What if I actually don't like jelly beans? Will it make it better or worse?
I don't. Wait, no, let me see.
Pinkish?
Okay,
pinkish with a red spot or two?
Pink is fine. Orange is not fine.
Oh, bubblegum. Straight up. Yeah. Straight up. This is edible. This is edible.
I'll
make Andrew do one too. Andrew's gonna be playing off camera too. Oh, peek in here, Andrew. We got Andrew. Yay!
All right.
Don't look.
We love Andrew.
What color is it?
Oh, pink.
Okay, I can't with y'all. It's
bubblegum.
You know them just by their look.
I've eaten enough of these beans. And I also got a very nice one. I think you had this one.
The other day.
The other day,
like,
the pink.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it's like to be like a, what is it, like a motorcycle stunt?
Oh, it's so good.
It's like you're there to do a cool stunt, and then everyone else is there to watch you crash.
And none of us crash. We're just losing viewers right now with how disappointing doing the Birdie Bot
Why are we
theme
doing
was.
this?
That we just... All right, in that case, let's just get into
We're
the
all
intro.
happy. We're all happy.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think we can pull up gameplay now. Again, last night we announced you for the stream with a surprise little stream we did. It's a tech test to make sure everything worked, and we
Hopefully
created your
some
character.
people got more of those drops.
The Twitch
that
drops.
are live right now.
Yeah, Twitch drops live right now. Everybody get your drops, your Merlin's cloak for watching the Avalanche Software Twitch channel.
It's got a cool hoodie.
I know, yours is nice. I like it.
Oh,
I like it.
look at that.
I'm so lucky. I do. I love it. I'm so happy. I had to wear it.
Yeah.
So we've got your character all created, and
Yes.
we're ready to start your journey.
Yes,
This
new
is the
purple.
first time. I want to preface this with, we've been kind of precious about this intro. So as we've been doing kind of the marketing work along, we haven't wanted to really show or talk about it. We've teased it. I remember back in March, I wrote the blog post that was kind of like, and you know, with Moira's line kind of helped tease
We
what
survived
happened.
it. Yeah.
We survived what? I don't know. No spoilers, Moira. But we finally get to show it. We finally get to talk about it. People have played it, and I'm really excited to talk to all of you about it and what you think about the intro. And then as we get into the first couple hours of Hogwarts Legacy here.
Yeah,
So.
but spoiler alert.
But spoiler alert, because if you haven't seen the intro, if you want to experience the
Can
intro
we try to
for a
start
couple
off with a
hours
bang? You might want the
yourself,
controller in your hand.
play yourself.
Yep.
But we're also going to play here. We're here to play with you on launch day.
Yay!
All right, so I think Andrew's going to start us off. At some point, we may hand the controller to you, maybe to explore some Hogwarts.
All right.
But we're going to start us off. Start your journey. We're going to try and kind of keep it down on the cutscenes so that people can watch, but also react appropriately, please.
Oh, look how cute. They is so great.
It appears we are almost ready to depart. It's a pity we didn't have a bit more time to spend on spellcasting. I presume you've been practicing
when
the
I
spells
first saw
we worked
this,
on.
I have, Professor. For the hands-on, I just...
I'm quite sure I've never seen anyone take so
What is
quickly
happening?
to a second-hand wand. You'll be a force to be reckoned with when you get your own.
Thank you,
I
Professor.
do love these personalities.
I appreciate
I
you
think we
working
have
with me
video
during
and
the
pictures of you playing through this
gosh.
intro for the first time. It's an amazing reaction. Oh, here's one of my favorite
Oh.
characters.
Osric is awesome.
Mr. George Osric.
His voice is really great.
You're finding us.
Yeah,
I've
operated
to more
he's got a
vaguely
line
defined
that
destinations
I
than this.
love.
Though
Come
I
up here.
confess I
I'll see if I can
may have
make it.
calculated
So we don't have
slightly
sound.
first try.
We just see it.
We
think you
can't
should
hear
have
the
made
game
it.
audio.
But I'm going to try.
It's been much too long. When I received your owl, I must say I best not speak here, Eleazar. Of course. Why don't we speak
He
on
does
route
this
to
little thing
Hogwarts?
where he
We have a
asks you
start
for
of term
permission.
feast
He
and
does
a
like this
sorting
little thing with his
ceremony to
fingers
get
with
to.
the-
Wonderful idea.
No cap
As long as
you put
you're
in.
charge here doesn't mind
He
me
has this
tagging
great- there it is.
along.
Do it.
After you.
He does this great laugh too.
Ages since I've been to the castle.
Yeah, oh, yeah, that one.
Good to see gold pile of rocks.
Pile of rocks.
Faces. Look at this carriage.
Magic.
Magic?
Taking off on its own.
Well,
Right from the first game. Magic
I love,
right there.
I love the lore connections. It's really great to see this.
What's that?
More magic?
So much magic.
So much magic.
All the magic. I love this.
There's right.
It's, you know,
the theme here.
it feels like,
all
you know, the move, you know, you're getting into it. It's like,
We made a game! What? I can't believe it.
Y'all are so cool. Y'all are literally the coolest people
No.
I've ever met. I'm not even.
The fans. The fans are the coolest. This is why.
No, I'm
this
just
is why
a
we
dork
made
on the
it.
internet.
Oh,
You're saying
good. Oh, ouch.
And the fact that we're fans
got
of
me.
our own stuff.
Yes. Oh, yeah. There. Exactly.
Glad
I remember when this first came together and all the little bounces, like with the
Just
And there's no ropes on them. You know, they're all just balanced and
And
jiggling
who
up there.
is your traveling
It's not
companion?
physically possible, but it is magical.
A new student.
I think
You?
I think too.
Yes, sir.
Like you
I'm
can.
starting
I
school
hope
as a
everyone
fifth
feels
year.
like in the beginning, like
How
we tried.
extraordinary. It is
definitely wanted to
indeed.
begin
None of the faculty
warm,
has ever
you know,
heard of
like
anyone
a-
being admitted to Hogwarts
Like it feels
so late.
kind of like a familiar
Nor
face,
have
and you're
I.
getting oriented.
Of
and
course, as
we
the
wanted
other
to be able
fifth
to
years
just
would
kind
have
of
been honing
just
their
have,
magical
like, a little
skills
bit
for
of
4 years
chit-chat,
now,
like,
the
get straight
headmaster
into-
asked if I could
And
get
things
our
get a
new
little bit
student
hotter here
up
in
to
a second.
speed a bit before the term begins.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a better
But
mentor.
yeah,
Professor
we just,
Fig
we,
is
we
not
wanted to
only
give
an
people just
exceptional
like a little bit
teacher,
of time to
he's
settle
also a
in.
remarkably
Bashful
intuitive
Fig.
and
She's like,
gifted
I know.
wizard.
So sweet.
Mr. Osric is
Well, that's what I
prone
love
to
about this.
flattery.
Is like what you're
I
talking
dare
about. The
say
warmth
it's one of the
that we
reasons
introduce
he's
you with.
risen
Like
so
these
far up
characters
the
make you feel
ministry.
like, oh,
And
I
you're
belong.
floating through the clouds.
Yes.
and-
Have you seen this?
I mean, I just have my head
Look
on
at that
one.
paper.
I have. Opinions differ
Yeah, and
as to
here in a
how
second,
great a
like,
threat
one of the-
Ranrock really is.
One of the things, like when the music team's working
Although
on
I've
the
yet
game,
to convince my
it's a fun little
colleagues at the
moment.
ministry, I believe he is
Oh,
a
teasers.
significant threat.
getting that,
And
getting sort of like the
it was
exact
your
right
wife,
Eleazar,
information
who
there
alerted
was
me to his activities
something
months
that
ago.
I think I
Miriam.
like sat down for like an
How?
hour with
She
with one of
wrote
the
to me
Max
about
team, just
Ranrock
kinda, like,
before
dialing
she
stuff
died.
in.
I am hearing chat
Wondering
wants
what
to,
the ministry
wants to
knew about his
experience
activities.
the
Oh,
cutscenes
sorry.
and everything.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Before I could respond,
we can talk more once all of
received
this plays
this.
out.
Ruining it.
It was the last thing she sent me, Eleazar.
It came to me via her owl, but with no correspondence. I can only assume
That she had to get rid of it quickly to keep it safe.
presumably from Ranrock. I cannot open it. Whatever magic protects this is powerful indeed.
It looks like goblin metal. That symbol.
What's the glow?
I don't see a glow.
Nor do I. Merlin's beard. How did you...
Wait! We do.
The key! Give me your hand!
Just heart racing that whole time.
There's so many little details in there.
You're hurt.
The carriage driver that just
Perhaps a bit.
jumps off and apparates
I
out of there. He's
felt-
like, I'm not saving up for this.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm out.
But that just taught us so much about Fig because he can apparate too, but we can't. Like stays in peril for our sake,
Yeah.
and that just so much about
Oh, that's
who he
true.
is, too.
It,
I love it.
It's one of the things that when I'm watching people, it'll always be the part like on Let's Play videos or something where I always scroll to that moment. Just to, like, I always want to see the reaction. It's really fun to see whether or not people react to the festival.
Yes.
Because I think
Best part.
I think there's a little bit of like if you're a big fan, you know that
You
they
know
appear
what that means.
only when
Has
you've
a
seen
lot of
death.
weight.
Yeah.
But I think for
that
the others,
key
just kind of like,
discovered
oh,
was
that's
clearly a
something's
portkey.
happening. That's
Portkey.
interesting. But it's fun to watch
Arrangement
people's
wanted to
reaction
go
because
whoever
I
took
kind of
it
get a
to a
measure
specific place.
of how deep the lore knowledge goes as well.
Yes.
And I don't remember who came up with that idea in
feeling
production,
better,
but
so
as soon as we all heard it, we're just
like
like,
to look around a
oh
bit.
yeah, like that.
I
That was
would.
awesome.
Well, there's just a
But
lot of
stay
weight there
close.
too, because I was like, oh,
We've
shit
no
might be
idea who
okay. He
created
might be
this
okay. Oh,
portkey.
he is
He's
not
not.
okay.
Exactly. he'll be back.
I was hoping.
No.
Maybe? No. And then I went frame by frame. No.
He's not okay.
Sorry.
Long live Osa.
And then these stunning views, like
It's
coming out to this, and you know, we're not to Hogwarts, we're not to anywhere familiar yet. This is a new view, but I think we're also kind of setting a
Farther from
precedent
London
right
than the
here
carriage
coming out
travel
with this opening.
was
And it's like,
somewhere in the Scottish Highlands.
I love this structure on this rock. This looks like, why is it still standing where it is?
This has not been the day either of us expected.
Yeah, Jason was the level designer that really brought this together. Shout out to Jason.
And I believe that she.
Wish we could have everybody here
Yeah,
on
I know,
the
right?
couch, like,
Whatever
still
it
talking
was
through
meant to
this,
lead
but
to.
But yeah, he did a
If you're
tremendous
sure
job.
you're all right and wouldn't mind indulging me, I'd like to have a look around.
Absolutely, sir.
Good. Let's see if we can find a path, however faded it may be.
So awesome, so beautiful. Yeah. The water tech team just.
Yeah, it's really fun to listen to too. Just like sit over the shore, you know. Like we spend a while dialing in all these elements, you know, playing through everything, just
Where do
making
you
sure all these
suppose your
elements
wife got the portkey that brought us here?
But,
A good question.
yeah, it was really fun.
Miriam spent years searching for evidence of a long-forgotten form of
And
ancient
each of the
magic.
characters, like a lot of different characters and ideas in the game have
Ancient magic.
Yes.
When they first
A
talk about
powerful
Miriam,
magic
you know,
wielded
like
by
we're
a
playing
rare
what we
few
call Miriam's theme.
Seems to have
You'll
been
hear that
lost
too
to
when the key
time.
opens up as it's kind of like falling through the air. But yeah, there's all these things that we try and weave through whenever the characters are
Hogwarts Castle was
interacting,
built by,
and whenever we're
and
trying
is
to
itself a
kind of promote
stronghold
different
of that
elements of the
ancient
story.
magic.
I really loved
I
how
don't know where she
the
came
writers
into
kind of had a
possession of
nod
the
when they talk about ancient magic here.
But I am certain
And
it was to do with that search.
and Fig talks about how Hogwarts
There's
itself
the path down below.
was
This way.
built with ancient magic.
I think that's one of the big things that has been
But
really
sir,
cool
why
for
was
me
your
throughout
wife
development is
searching
to
for evidence
recognize
of lost magic?
how much
Miriam wanted to understand
the
why
story
such
team,
powerful
well,
magic
everybody, the
disappeared from the
architects,
wizarding world.
the level
Spoke of
designers
the good it
cared
could do.
about
But magic is no
pulling all
different
those
than
small
any
details
power.
throughout all of
What
lore
really matters
that we
is
could
the
weave
one
in and
who
make it
wields
feel
it.
so authentic.
Yeah.
There was a lot to draw from too.
Is that
It's not cold enough
And yet
here.
at the same time still
It
having
appears
it
to be
feel
a
like
sort of
this is your
enchantment.
story. Like you are
Someone
the
wanted to
one, you're
go
not,
this far.
you know,
Let's
someone
see
else's
some of that
story.
work you were
So
practicing.
it's really well done.
Focus on
And,
the
and that's some of
center.
the most amazing praise that I've heard for the work that was done is that it feels nostalgic, it feels familiar, but at the same time it feels fresh and new, and you want to explore those things, and we struck that balance in a really good way. And so hearing people say that in a way that's almost unprompted, and I'm like, that's exactly what the team was going for. That's exactly what we wanted to do. And so the fact that you're saying that to me is like,
It worked well.
we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah.
So I promised I would tell the team that as well. So I'm telling you right now.
Oh, that's great. I think it was really, I know it was really important to us that we felt like we had to kind of like earn that authentic feeling. We knew we'd be adding some things, you know, to the world, like in our own exploration, and but we felt like we had to earn that, you know, like that the authenticity, like that people could recognize that throughout everything, because that was the only way we were going to earn the few things that we were going to do a little bit different.
Yeah.
Now. It's
So
just
that makes me happy to hear.
And I do want to call that out too. I am being fed questions and everything from chat. So in chat, if you've got questions about the intro, about development, any questions for our panel here, throw them in there, and we'll see if we can answer and talk about some different things as well. This Revelio, or not Revelio, but
I think
Reparo
this
moment.
is the first time we're
really cool.
actually seeing like wand magic.
Yeah. Magic.
And
Yeah.
it's stunning.
Yeah.
I think
That one at the end.
Yeah, totally.
Love it.
And then that one.
Yeah.
I love that it doesn't like fully repair it either. It's like it repairs it just enough, but this
Yeah,
thing is
it's
so
imperfect.
ancient.
It's,
It's
you
been
know,
around for a very long time. It's like we'll repair what we
A
can.
lot of the
It's
sediment is under the
It's
ocean.
under the ocean. It's so far
Everything
gone. It's those undercurrents just carry it away.
This.
I think
Boston.
we're hoping to
Architecture.
with that moment. We were hoping to have kind of like just a moment with Reparo that felt a little bit bigger than maybe Reparos we've seen. It might sound like a weird detail, but I think in a few different interactions we hoped that we were giving the impression that Fig was quite competent as a wizard.
Yeah.
And setting that bar was important for like an encounter coming up, just so that we kind of understood where Fig stood just that people had reference to other events that are coming up that I'll kind of bring into focus later.
This right here.
It's a beautiful mural.
So beautiful.
What are these cards?
What does it all mean? What do y'all think?
And again, I love that we're starting off with something that's not familiar.
Yeah.
We're setting the stage for something new here with our game. Before we get to those familiar elements and tie that in. We didn't. Was that something where did it almost feel like cheating to start at Hogwarts or start in something familiar? Like you're kind of talking about earning those moments and earning those things that we did differently.
Sure, yeah.
And so with this intro, with what we're doing here, that's what I feel with it. Is like we really earned this by showing here's what we're doing different before we get into the thing that we know will capture your heart.
Yeah, and I think I want to have this moment happen, but we can talk about it more in a second.
Oh.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
How odd. Why would someone have conjured that enchanted stone here?
And how is there a room behind it?
You know, we talk about how iconic Hogwarts is, but Gringotts is so iconic too. Like, gosh, that is just a tiny shot through this really mysterious material. But it is so iconic too.
What in Merlin's name? Godric's heart.
And getting that transition to work too, I know was I saw the ongoing development of this intro and how much things often changed.
Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the familiar, like you were saying. To answer your earlier question, I think with the intro, like we knew a lot of people were like raised on the books and kind of grew up with video games and grew up with Potter, and so we felt like we wanted to make sure that we were speaking to that audience a bit. And so at first, where it's kind of that I guess the familiar coziness, and they're talking about things that you recognize.
Yep.
We also wanted to, like with the dragon attack, we wanted to say, like, we wanted to set a tone where it's like
the tone was set.
Here's where we're willing to go, like right away, and kind of keep you off kilter. So that would throw you off kilter. Like you can't really kind of like put a stake in who's going to live or die. And then we wanted to just have all these moments that really kind of kept you off balance through the entire thing, but let you kind of go on a crazy tour through like some of your favorite moments. And so, you know, the carriage and being pulled by invisible things, and you're kind of familiar with dragons and thestrals. You know, then we go to a location you've never seen before, then you start seeing magic you haven't seen before. But we wanted to get you to Gringotts, you know, and we wanted to have you have these moments. Like we're about to see, where you get to go on the rails and
on the cart.
I think there was some fan candy in there too, where some fans will know what a port key is already. And if you don't know what a port key is, then that was just super magical anyway. But this was like, wait, I think that was a port key. Whoa, because no one touched it until that moment. And
that's a great
really
balance that
carefully scripted.
You all had to strike too. Is balancing what people knew about lore versus explaining the lore, and how do you strike that balance between not over-explaining it, because people who already know it, they're like, you don't have to over-explain this to me, but also you don't want to ignore those things. And
don't leave anyone in the dark if they don't know the world.
Yeah, and you'll notice because the student is new, you know, it helps because Fig actually has a line describing essentially what a port key is shortly after you land. But yeah, we were conscientious of it all the way through.
It also seems like narratively, like even in like later on in the game when you're having conversations with professors or whoever, like that gets weaved in kind of seamlessly. So I think it's good to kind of tie it back to dialogue.
Once again, clap for my writers.
Writing.
We've got a couple of questions while we're zipping through the caves in here. First question: are any side quests missable?
No. So, like, if you're worried that progressing through the game at any point, you know, like something will disappear or go away, you don't have to worry about that. So, you could technically make it through the entire narrative and then begin your side quest. The main narrative and then begin your side quest.
My caveat to that would be that if you play as different houses, there may be some different experiences for a certain portion of the quest.
but not a side quest.
But not necessarily a side quest. We're talking side quests here. But and that is technically
your house matters.
Your house matters. Well, just your house matters.
Of course it matters.
Well, that's why all the playthroughs are important.
Yes.
Multiple.
And another question we have here is, how long did it take to complete the introduction?
Ooh.
That seems like it sounds like a development question. Like, how long did it take to complete from a development?
Man, I'm not sure I could tell you because it's so hazy.
There was a lot that went into this.
So many iterations.
The thing is, there's been so many. There's even been wildly different visions and versions of intro like that we've gone through.
Oh, okay.
So unfortunately, it's like really hazy. Like, when did this one kind of snap into focus? And then how long have we been working on it? I mean, it may have even been like a couple of years.
A very long time. Yeah. And even in just, the time that I've been here, year and a half roughly, it's been like quite different. As much as this intro has evolved, and it's even been largely the same narratively start to end from what it is here, and it's still had a lot of changes.
I think I lost track of it after a little while, and then I saw something like, we go to Green Gods. I was just blown away. I was like, what? And it was so exciting, but that. I couldn't keep track of it, and every time I touched base with it again, it was wildly different.
Yeah. That was one of the fun things with the writing is when we had kind of set certain things in our game, like a certain time in the past, it's like connected to events that would have been a long time ago in the Wizarding world. Mm-hmm. We'll look up like when was Gringotts founded, and we're like, oh my goodness, that's really close to when we've got these characters appearing or this type of thing. But it made things like this where it's like where we get to have a character say like, oh, that's in Vault 12.
Yeah.
Like that was packed with a lot of meaning. That was really exciting for us.
Like, it's one of the first vaults. Okay, cool. We can do this.
Yeah.
And even just from a gameplay perspective too, here I remember how this scene changed because of like ways that the door could catch you, and shout out to the QA team and like stress testing all of those kinds of things, the things you wouldn't even think about, where you have to make these little tiny changes to make sure that.
So we're not doing mocap if someone's stuck in the stairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think it's a little unusual for the port key to actually be a key. We're used to port keys being junk, and for it to actually be a key this time is a little...
One that's locked in some container that's
mystical
like, what is this?
But then, that key goes to a door, and it's Gringotts, and oh my goodness, it's well
so it's
put
a
together.
key that's also a key that's also...
Very bad. It's fair.
Sometimes I expect when Fig hands over the port key that the banker goes back to Scotland.
It's like,
It's like, it's a double?
yeah.
It's a two-way?
And this moment, learning your first spell.
Yeah.
Rebellion.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Learning the first one that you learn, because you already used basic cast, because you had previously learned it.
You
just had to practice.
Yes, you just
That's
have
your
to
first
practice
learning.
your basic cast.
Yeah.
That symbol has the same glow as the one I saw in the portrait
I gotta just
container.
call out the tech for the rail ride.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
the mountain
the
cart,
ride.
or the Gringotts cart, or whatever, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of work that went into that alone was insane.
Yeah.
For such a cool moment.
As dev time goes, the prototype went up pretty quick. I just mean like where we got to at least see the idea.
Yes.
So that was really cool. It takes a lot of work to bring something home, right?
Yes, to polish it up and make it feel that good. Oh,
It feels good.
Because for a long time it was kind of like insert right here. Like, we saw the tech, it will be good, but like no one's experienced
Insert
it.
Yes.
So I was just
here.
like, what is this giant moment of nothing? Like, we're really bored by this, but it's like when everything comes through, the music, the visuals, the sound effects.
And then back to this moment of mystery here too.
The
That's very much
mystery.
like you're through that door and now you're just in this
And
massive,
it's empty.
dark,
Yeah.
empty area.
Well, it
You're
reminds
like,
me
what is this
of
vault?
Perry when he first opens the vault, and it's a really intricate door, and he's like, wow, there must be something really special in here. And it's empty.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a little grubby package.
That's great. I mean, there's a lot of emotions, like as the player, when I saw this for the first time all the way through, there's, the drag, there's a highs and then kind of the mystery that really hooks you.
I think that the tone of it is great, but also, what is this? You know, the whole time I'm like, oh, okay, like I guess we're going here now. And now it's like, wait, this is something different.
We had a question here that I think may be for Troy, but we may pass it around depending on who can answer it. But how did you come up with the trace shapes for learning the spells?
Oh, so I don't know. I mean, that was, again, a team effort. Honestly, the shapes themselves are from lore, right?
Yeah.
The minigame itself was a collaboration of the mechanics team of just trying to figure out what could be the mechanic of using your wand to try and figure out the motion. It was really important to us to have that authentic moment of, no, you've got to master your wand motion, because later in the game you're doing this and you're doing with all these cool moves, and you're like, well, what about, that's not the wand motion. So we wanted to make sure that part of it was pulled from lore, and that we represented that.
And that goes back to something we were talking about earlier with wand choreography and combat choreography, and how that was an important part of
Love the twirls. I love the, like, I look so fancy when I'm in combat. I love it.
That long range fencing, but but it is very skill oriented. Yeah. The mystery here is so fun.
Gotta listen for the sound of Lumos from the audio team.
Yes, the audio team was very proud of Lumos and how it sounds authentic and again nostalgic too. You know what that sounds like, but we also had to get it right for our game.
Right.
So the audio team was very, very proud of that. Very proud of that and all the spell sounds really.
Oh,
this is our first.
Now it's on.
I look, you're just waiting. It's like,
I know. I mean, look at Fig.
This is that moment where you see somebody else do stuff and you're like, I want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was another moment where we wanted to kind of show Fig like right up front, using some abilities, easily smashing some.
Here's who this guy is. Here's what he can do.
Yeah.
We have another question while Andrew is making combat look simple here,
right there,
as he often does. Just for everybody, I think we can go around the room here. What is your favorite feature added to the game? So we'll start with Boston, actually, unless you don't have one right off the bat.
Come back to the past.
Anybody who wants to add or answer that question.
Yeah, it's really hard when we talk about favorites, you know. Like a lot of times it's like there are these recent moments that surprise and delight, and it's an answer people will have heard me say in other places. But there's like certain costume combinations that you can tweak on your character.
I love the fashion.
And that actually the world will respond to, like some of them.
Custom voice lines. Yeah.
But like I was going a little bit wonky with my costume choice at one point, and people started commenting. I was just like, oh, that's cool. I forgot we had even talked about that.
When you say people, it's NPCs.
NPCs.
And multiple NPCs.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I'll comment
I'm
on
gonna
my
try
style.
that.
So
I'm gonna find it.
I thought that was pretty fun. Little Easter egg in there.
Yeah.
Troy, anything?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Honestly, so I'm an action game player. I love that kind of stuff. So while I really enjoyed working on combat and spellcasting and that sort of stuff, Hogwarts, like for me, is the magic. It is so also Boston. Seriously, no, it's so fucking. Well, and part of it too is because I haven't played Hogwarts as much as I've played the action stuff. It's so new to me still. Like so much of it is surprising and interesting and fun and like all the different personality moments from the characters, from the locations, and the wow moments. Just the things happening around you are so fun. I love that stuff.
And you better say combat now.
I know.
Waiting.
Well, I was going to say too that's what's interesting in talking about this is that other people are always so excited about other people's work. They're proud of the work they themselves put in, but also, you know, I worked on combat, I love this, but Austin, what you did with this is so incredible, it's amazing. And I feel like that's everywhere. That's everywhere in the studio. You talk to anybody and everybody is so excited for each other's work and the work that's been done.
Well, it's so enchanting. You're so enchanted by someone else's passion.
Yes.
Creatures actually came to mind to me because like I've never seen a Doug Bond but we have some really cool magical creatures that we've never really interacted with before, and to me it's just fun.
Yeah.
Love the grab one. Love that dead bug is just something else.
Yeah.
But there's
so
some
great.
good story moments there.
Yeah. Moon calves get me. For
Oh.
cuteness aggression, that's
They got
me.
it.
I can't. From the trailers and then seeing, I just can't. It's.
Yeah.
But that's great because you're like, oh, I can't choose it because all sorts of areas and aspects are so well done, you know?
Well,
and the way that it fuses together is just really great.
Yeah, and that's where I was gonna go with mine too. Being somebody who hasn't worked on the game itself, you know, I've something I've loved is that I've been able to have some creative input on things as we've been working on the marketing side. The team is also very open to. I know I've sat down with you multiple times and you've been like, listen,
it's not good enough yet.
Give me
Troy.
some feedback.
Make
I'm like,
better.
come on, make it. You know? But really engaging in how you engage with each other and other people who aren't necessarily part of your team. There's no ego in thinking like, well, I know best about combat, so I'm not going to listen to anybody else or anything. It's a very, very collaborative effort with everybody.
Yeah.
And what that's resulted in is really this game where it's got a lot of good pieces, and I love showing people all the different pieces, which are, you know, the broom flight, the exploration, the combat, the vivariums and the beasts and everything. But not only do you have all that, but the way that it all comes
the magic
together
is that it works together.
is so good. And I think that's what people have discovered as they've been getting their hands on the game this week, and people are kind of bringing to light. Is
Yeah, and
wow.
I think it's why I still discover things. It's just because the team is full of fans, and I think and I think we wanted to make sure that we were getting all of that energy, you know, into the game. And so I think it was really, really important to us that everyone felt like they it's kind of like here's sort of like the box for you, but you can do anything you want in this box. So
Yeah, that's my favorite. Using pensives.
Pensives are cool.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Speaking of features, I thought that portal tech was pretty cool. I remember when Eric came up with that.
Yes.
Ooh.
Eric Cambridge special.
Yeah.
All is in place. The portkey is well hidden. Perhaps too well. I wonder if the path we've created may be impossible to follow. It will only be impossible for one who cannot see traces of ancient magic as I can.
Your ability to see what others cannot will not be enough, Percival. We are entrusting the one who embarks on this path with powerful secrets, with knowledge others will do anything to obtain.
Yes, and if we are correct, Charles, the witch or wizard who completes the trials will have proven themselves worthy of that knowledge, and the responsibility that accompanies it.
We've done all that we can.
His beard looks so good.
Beard tech.
I'm jealous.
Story-wise, it's so cool because we know the founders, and we always think of them as like the powerful wizards. But to see a broader world of, wow, wait, who are these people? We've never heard of them, but they have a story and history, and they are powerful.
And you have a connection.
Yeah. But could never. Not everyone would be related to Salazar Slytherin or Granger Gryffindor or something, but wait, this is a bigger world than just that very concise story.
It really makes it real because, yeah, of course, in a living world, you would have people that aren't famous, maybe, per se, or maybe there's different legacies of family names, or things that get lost and how things change over time. I think it's really cool, especially, we're in the late 1800s right now.
Shout out to the cinematics team and making these moments impactful, coming to life, and looking gorgeous. Yeah, there's just so much talent everywhere.
Yeah, and the audio team as well here, like trying to kind of add music to this moment that felt a little bit uneasy. And then they were very particular about when to kick in, kind of like Ranrock's theme. Just kind of like watching how much energy goes into every single little thing. Like it's hard not to have a soft spot for the team and be proud of everything that they put into it.
Poor Goblin.
I know.
But you know what's going to happen.
I think a lot of people at this point kind of know what's going to
Well, you
happen.
can sense he's just like, oh, sir.
I was to grant access only to one with the key, and you didn't have
I have no patience for traitors. Now,
And like you said, shout out to the cinematics team, because the framing of that, just the way it's able to kind of callously go, you know.
And then this is why we kind of tried to highlight Fig's power earlier, just to kind of contextualize a bit what Ranrock is working with.
Yeah. That floor. It looks
The
so
VFX.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
we've never seen such a powerful goblin either.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of new things here.
Yeah, we
We've
certainly
fought a
haven't
few
seen
nights
that.
before.
The design on that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And again, kind of hinting at the ancient magic thing here, where your character can see something over here, and like, oh wait, what's over? I think we can go here.
Yeah.
I feel the same way.
Are you all right?
Fine, sir.
I've never seen so
I
powerful.
like your purple hair choice.
Thanks. This is the third shade of purple I've gotten.
There's this moment right here when Fig smiles, where my heart fills up a little bit.
Yes. Because it's back to the familiar in the
Yes. He was like, okay.
And then that little cue, you
Yes.
made it soft at first with the music.
Come. We have a sorting ceremony to get to.
But
Alright.
this job that the Cinemax team, it still gets me. Like, still does.
Oh yeah,
This is it.
because the music also comes in and it's just like, oh, train, oh, it hits everything. Or you're here.
Owl.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
It's a good intro.
It is.
It's a good intro.
It's a very good intro.
Yeah, being able to get back to that familiar and back to that moment of how do we get to where we can pan up and see this like iconic, epic view of Hogwarts and make you go, I'm here. Like it's just this breath of relief and fresh air.
And it's quite subtle, but the music, the way it transitions into our theme, is something that I was really proud of the music team, like how all that stuff bridged together.
That seems more.
Wish I had that, just like.
I know, right?
I need to study this locket as soon as I can, but first I must contact the ministry. They need to know what happened to George.
Oh, we're gonna be more characters too.
I love that we still got the sorting ceremony in too, because how do you arrive late, but and have these whole events leading up to your arrival, but also get to just like start school normally, you know, as like a normal other student would, and so shout out to the narrative team there and getting that to this place, and how do you get it here to where it feels naturally. You still get sorted.
Yes.
In front of the rest of the school, just like you would if you were first attending Hogwarts.
I kind of wish we had a scene where you're like standing in line with
And
all
they're
the
just
other
the higher
first years, just like waiting for it. Yep.
3 heads over them.
And meeting a very different headmaster than we've seen before.
I love how he carries himself. His head is like,
The perfect.
Complications.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Such a cool guy. I've never met him, but I wish I had.
That was definitely one of the happy accidents when we were trying to find a time period. And around when we chose, it just kind of like, there are like a couple of choices we could have made for like an area to like be in at the school, but Black wound up kind of cinching it for us.
Yeah.
Where we just, I think there's a mischievous part of us where it's like, oh, we've seen Dumbledore and he's real nice.
Let's see what the other
Great.
When we heard this guy described as kind of like the
So-
least popular headmaster ever, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
we have
You
to,
have
right?
to at that point.
So while we're walking up here to the Sorting Hat, I want to ask chat what house we should be. So throw houses in the chat. We'll see like kind of what the
Ravenclaws,
majority.
you better write in the chat.
I mean, it is Prof Lynette, so it better be Ravenclaw, but we'll see what happens. Also, roll call of houses on the couch, starting with Boston. Let's go down around the room.
Oh, Gryffindor.
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw, yay!
Slytherin.
Ravenclaw.
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow.
Hufflepuff.
We have finally
But the
seen everyone
majority.
out. Our first time as
I got
Ravenclaws.
my green
We're all
my
representing.
green Slytherin shirt
My
on
blue.
here. I had to represent.
Gonna be.
Explore. I know, Prof Lynette, but I don't want to go to
so good.
I want to explore. I will go to class, but I want to explore.
Yeah, I love watching that option because you kind of expect when you put it in, like, well, who's going to pick class?
Yeah.
You put it in anyway, but then it's also fun watching like
Yes.
everyone play the game, and I do feel like Explore is very well represented.
Yep.
I'm getting word the answer in chat seems to be Ravenclaw. So they came through for you. They came through for you.
We win today.
I detect something in you.
Oh, I missed the part where the Sorting Hat was like, "Oh, you seem older."
Oh.
Okay,
Jeez.
you just say that to me.
I miss the detail how our robe right now is just kind of neutral. It's
Yeah,
kind of
the
purple.
Hogwarts.
Oh, it's,
Yeah.
It's very clever.
So we're sure not loyalty, right?
I am.
All right.
Curiosity. That's the one. Yeah.
Desire to learn. I do enjoy a good puzzle.
I do like puzzles. This is accurate.
While we're going through the rest of these questions too, and picking the house here, we had one question earlier while we were going through intro stuff. The discussion was so good. How many cats are in the game? And is there an achievement to pet them all?
I'm gonna pet all cats.
I
All the
actually do not
cats.
know how many different kinds of cats, do you?
Different kinds of cats.
I know. I want
Oh,
to
I just
get
mean, like, different
all the
codes.
different.
I
I
don't
want
know.
to
There are
get
different colors. Where they? We got Ravenclaw.
Let's
Look at
just
that.
assume
All right.
5,000.
Yes,
I'm just gonna
probably
assume that.
5,000. I don't know.
5,000 cats.
I'm sure.
I'm joking.
Go find all 5,000.
We don't know specifically a lot of cats though. They're everywhere.
Yes.
I just have memories here because we had too many professors to fit on one table. I had to round the table around the
I
back
see.
to fit everyone.
And change to the Ravenclaw robe. You get the claps from the Ravenclaw side.
Yes. Yep.
And
You get everybody else is excited for you. They're excited for you to be at the school. I love the hint back there of oh, and here's one of the first times you really get to hate Black, Professor Black for what he's.
I love their reactions. They're just like,
Who is
yeah.
this is why. This is why, guys.
Phineas.
See, Director hate.
Yes, it's him.
And then you go to the
Not
students.
us.
You go to the students too, and they're all like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Yep.
You're gonna do this?" Even the Slytherin students,
I
and that was
know.
a nice cut
That
to
was
the
like,
Slytherins who were like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
There's somebody more hateable than us.
I was gonna point out, I really like that this is a kind of teaser to all of the
Yeah,
professors
they-
back there.
Mhm.
You get them walking by. You're like, who is that? Where's the school? We've introduced a lot of them through kind of our marketing campaign, getting to know them. But this is a good moment to be like, school is filled with a lot of interesting characters.
Yeah.
You know what else the school is filled with?
What?
Really good food. There's some really good looking desserts back there.
There's a lot of food on the tables right now. I'm like, can I just,
It's like,
grab a snack real quick?
I
I've
like
been through a lot.
I like the detail though that they put the dessert on the tables at the end there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Because that's the feast is over.
Like how beautiful.
Here's another character who's evolved even since we've been marketing,
Yeah.
and we've shown her previous iterations too in past past trailers and things, and she has been updated since then.
Yeah, she started off with a different kind of uniform and a different kind of style, really. And there were some adjustments we made to her presentation, kind of like in voice and in costume.
Hairstyle, everything.
Yeah, that came together. She had a little bit like an even warmer, kind of even more kind of grandmotherly take at first.
Very Weasley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And comforting and yeah.
But we actually wanted to create a bit of tension between her and Fig, actually, over the course of the story. And for that, we kind of decided to give her like a slightly more McGonagall bent in her appearance and style.
Right.
So I just want to quickly do a call out. You know, if you're just joining us, we're heading in to go to sleep in our first night in Hogwarts. We did a studio tour earlier, and we just played through the intro of the game. So we just got sorted, survived a dragon attack. Did lots of crazy things happened. And we are finally here. We're finally at Hogwarts. We just slept and woke up for our first full day of school.
As a Ravenclaw.
As a Ravenclaw. We are a Ravenclaw now.
Yes.
I also want to call out the Twitch drops. They're going on right now. If you're watching, you can get the Merlin cloak as well as a variety of other Twitch drops if you watch in the Hogwarts Legacy category.
No.
When we were,
because we can't watch because we're on the screen. Yeah, like
exactly. It was very meta. I had my phone running so that I would like look
can
down.
I want to get that.
After you came by, I'm like, do I have it yet?
So I want to call out the bunk beds in Slytherin, and shout out to Kevin Keel, who is our artist for Ravenclaw. But we built castle all 1-to-1, so Ravenclaw actually had to fit in this tower, and that's not easy to fit all the rooms and all of the dorms you need into this relatively narrow tower.
So it sounds like a happy accident then, because the last time I was playing, I was just like, oh, it's so interesting, the bunk beds here. Where I thought, is it like a Raven? Because I can't remember. Is that like a Ravenclaw thing? The bunk beds?
Only the Ravenclaws have bunk beds.
Because on my brain, the happy accident there was like the height on the bunk beds. Like
well,
the Ravenclaws are the highest.
They are the area. You know, their common room is described as the areas. And it worked really well, but physically, we had to use bunk beds to get the amount of students we needed to fit in this tower.
These are the details that are so awesome to me, right? When I think about exploring Hogwarts and why it's so exciting to me is you and your, the team had to make these decisions that nobody has had to make before. And like how cool that you got to put your stamp on.
And we really struggled because we wanted,
what is Hogwarts?
I mean, like, I'm a Gryffindor. I wanted this gorgeous 4-canopy Gryffindor bed and stuff. But you have to remember, it's also a boarding school. And so, like, furniture is going to be just not going to be that nice because it's still a school with teenagers. And so trying to ride this balance of furniture being nice, but also very used.
Yeah.
But, like, not gross either. And so... And then the bunk beds being like, well, this is a school, this is a boarding school, so bunk beds are totally appropriate. But it's Ravenclaw, so they're going to be nice bunk beds.
Oh, yes.
I think Ravenclaws take very good care of their stuff, too. So I think they have probably some nicer furniture than other common rooms.
Oh, yeah.
They're very responsible students.
I will also say, though, as a Ravenclaw, so we were just talking to Everett, so there are different personalities even within the houses. So I think that's really cool to see that represented.
I know Kevin put some nice stories in here, but we secretly kind of thought that Ravenclaws are probably the party animals of the school. Like, they seem so studious, but like they have an entire game room up there where, like down here they study and are really studious, but they have this other level where they kind of let loose and just play games. They probably have some really great parties, and that's the secret.
Ivy League style.
Yeah.
So I love exploring some of the other personalities.
Yes,
beyond the stereotype, I'm sure.
Right.
And just as we, I know we're in Ravenclaw right now, but looking at all of the houses and the unique identities of each house, but making them each feel welcoming still. And I always think back to, because I'm Slytherin, and so that's the one I focus on, and talking about how do you make a dungeon feel, a stone dungeon under the lake, like how do you make that feel welcoming and like you want to go there and you want to hang out? And I know that was one of the ones that took a lot of work to get right.
but I think we got it.
Yeah. We talked previously.
Well, just on
about
that,
the green
just the
lights.
tour
Yeah.
a little while ago, we got to meet Dave McClellan, who I think is the hero of making that welcome. Shout out to our lighting team. I think they had a tremendously difficult job, but they also have a very rewarding job because when they get it right. And you don't think about the lighting, but it makes everything work. And the lighting makes these rooms feel welcome.
And it's yet another kind of extra mile story, I guess. But we didn't. I know I never necessarily asked for each common room to have their own musical theme. You know, like we knew we wanted it to have like a lot of nostalgia and to make you feel really at home and stoke those feelings. But like I think I would have imagined, you know, they come up with the common room theme and it's very nostalgic and that's
whatever
that.
you play, that's
But the team going that extra mile, where you know it was important to them to make sure that each one had its own kind of style to it, and so it was provoking nostalgia, but with the house kind of vibe to it. And so I'm still blown away when I start a game, you know, as a Hufflepuff versus start a game as a Slytherin. Like how they nailed that vibe. And so I'm just, again, proud Papa. I'm really proud of.
For sure. I mean, I've played the intro many times and in all of the houses. Like I've been through all the houses, and so Slytherin in particular, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. I walked in, I was like, can I be a Slytherin? Gryffindor, I was like, wait, can I beat this? Every single one, I wanted, it felt perfect. Like, I belong here, and it didn't really matter at the end of the day. Like, it was, everything came together.
It's nice to meet you, Amit.
Yeah, and in terms of the house differences, I mean, you hinted earlier, but we tried to make sure that in your main story, you know, for each house that you play as, we tried to make sure that there is a kind of a different fantasy that you get to experience and explore that the other houses don't in every single main story.
And then you'd also get to be surprised by them. You might not think this thing happens with this house, but here you are.
You never dreamed of. I suppose I'll see you in class then.
Yes. I think we're almost done talking to all of our fellow housemates here.
I like the variety of the students we meet. There's so many different personalities, and they're breaking a lot of stereotypes of what we think a Ravenclaw has to be or a Slytherin has to be. And it just kind of makes me feel like, oh, there's room for whatever kind of character I want to play. There's room for that character in this house, whether it's stereotypically been done before or not.
Yeah, one of those other unique things about playing each house, where it's not necessarily inherently different. You'll go to your common room, you'll meet classmates from that common room, but that's a different experience for it. You're saying you played through each of them. The three that you meet here in Ravenclaw, very different than the three you meet in Hufflepuff, very different than the three you meet in Gryffindor, etc. And it really sets a tone, a very interesting tone.
Everything's so pretty. The design.
I trust you're ready for your first day.
That raven, you're just
I
like,
know.
The little shimmering stars.
The glow. I love looking up. I'm just like, let me stare at this all day.
Even the way the stones twist there, the idea that wizards wouldn't
Eagle,
build the way
everybody,
muggles
eagle.
do, like, you know, they're building with magic, so you can make stone do different things.
If you have a wand.
With a wand.
So those curved stones. are
It's so just little things about
how does a wizard construct versus like a stonemason? You know?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of spiral shapes in our art flavor just because of that, because muggles wouldn't be able to pull that off. But with a wand, it's just a very natural shape in the wizarding world.
Interesting, yeah.
With wood or stone.
We've devised something extraordinary to ensure.
It goes back to what we were talking with Bunker about too, in the art design of the world and the whimsy of the world, and something that it feels grounded, but it also feels a little like, okay, there's something off about this. It's not possible.
When something is so imbued with magic and has been for hundreds and hundreds of years, and I'm even thinking about the land of Scotland, when you're out in Overland, I think there's even areas that are just so imbued with magic, and it shows that through shapes. And the art, but
I'm
nothing
feeling
is normal.
I'm feeling Alan energy looking at the field guide here, because I know we've talked a lot about the field guide and how the field guide is such like this crux thing of linking kind of narrative to gameplay and making everything tie together and fit together in learning about the world. And so this moment I think was really cool, where you get the field guide and you get that visual of the pages just flying out. Almost evokes like the letters flying around the room moment too for Harry when he's getting his letter to Hogwarts, but in a very different way. And that this is now how you learn about the world, how you gain experience.
And I really want to give a lot of credit as well to the UI team. They pushed. They'll tell a story of how they twisted my arm a bit. Pushed to make sure that the field guide was kind of pervasive throughout the UI as well, and it wound up through that effort and through a lot of conversation with the team, becoming like what trails you follow in the game world, and just trying to make sure that it was always present no matter what you did. And it was important to us to make sure that you felt that, just so that you felt like learning was with you wherever you went throughout the entire game, so that you never fully left kind of like the castle or your studies behind. Where we landed with it and trying to get that vibe everywhere, I'm really, really pleased with. It's again, proud papa.
And getting to learn all the small details of the world, even from a lore perspective, just little bits of lore that you may not know about.
This tower is kind of fun because, of course, Ravenclaw Common Room is gorgeous. We know that. But anyone else exploring gets up to the top, and it's kind of this rough attic, and you're just like, where am I? And it might not be immediately. Anyway, there's always kind of a surprise when you get into the common room versus being on the outside of the common room. You don't really know what to expect.
If you're a Ravenclaw walking past Slytherin dungeon, you're just going to see a blank stone wall. That's,
Okay. And Ravenclaw's a little fun. We always imagined there'd be quite a few first years who can't get in. So there's always a bunch of pillows and stuff out there where I imagine people have to spend the night. They can't get to their own common room if the password happens to be really hard that day.
Those tiny details are just incredible. Like those
Nothing's really frustrated first years stuck outside like poor Neville Longbottom. There's a few pillows there for him.
Yeah, he made it through.
Open it up and find Central Hall.
So, learning a lot of things here.
Look at this.
I love the choice to have kind of 3 different maps. We showed it earlier this week, the map of Hogsmeade, as well as a specific map of Hogwarts, those 2 kind of iconic locations, and then also the overworld map for the Highlands.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's always obvious to people, but even the map, the art team tried to, and the UI team tried to give it a little bit of like a magic paper pop-up vibe.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. It's so cool.
And I don't know that everyone picks up on it, but it's really fun what they did.
Every area you enter into, it's just like magic.
Some people will miss the relief in the back, the never tickle a sleeping dragon. So we've got the dragon sleeping there, and you'll see a little wizard hop up and tickle.
He hops up and tickles him, and then
yeah, I see it right there.
Yeah. So I'm not sure when he hops up, but it's all these details. It's incredible.
What's the actual motto? Like, can anybody off the top?
You asked me to speak Latin.
I know. Do we have it?
I'll pass on that.
Something Titilandus.
Someone in the chat knows this.
I know, right? Like, show me the relief, I'll read it.
Yeah.
Throw it in chat. Throw it in chat.
We had a set of brothers work on that. One brother concepted it, and the other twin brother built it. So it's kind of some fun stories in there.
And you have much to learn. Happily, your professors have agreed to create
And then this is a, kind of a cool moment that you get right here, where you get kind of set loose on Hogwarts. You get, your option to go to classes for the day. You have a couple of classes that you can start out with to start learning spells, but also it's really enticing just to not do that and go run around. But the funny thing is, if you want like Accio to start getting those pages, if you want to start solving things around the castle, some of the puzzles and secrets we have, you need to go to your classes. You have to learn. But it's also, you kind of just want to explore, and you're like, I'm exploring, but the only thing I know right now is basic Cast and Revelio.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to do with Revelio, so you can.
There is.
I guess
say how
the most
pretty
as
the
well, yeah.
velvet is on her coat.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Look at it.
Her outfit is great.
Good texture.
The kid in the background.
All right, so for everybody on Twitch, Avalanche Software on Twitch, you're getting Twitch drops right now for the Merlin's cloak. It's a special cloak that I think looks pretty amazing.
It does.
And then there's a variety of other drops. We'll figure out how to get you.
I know. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
Are there any like I don't know, tailors out there who could create a life-size?
Oh my gosh! Real life, yes. Just walk it to work. You're like, I'm ready.
If you can get that pattern to glow in the dark.
Also, if you're not seeing progression on your Twitch drops, make sure to refresh your page, get that progression. We'll be up for a little while longer here, but yeah, we want to help everybody get that awesome cloak. Celebrating launch day, launch week with us, really. But again, that's what this is. It's our launch day celebration. Thank you, everybody, for everything and for making this moment truly special for us. I think there are almost no words. All right, we do have a couple of questions. We've seen people asking about developing the moving stairs. Ooh, that's just a chuckle. That's yeah, no.
Well,
it's good
we
to
weren't.
see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping.
At any point, we were never actually trying to recreate what we had already seen in the movies. We always wanted Hogwarts to be our own version of Hogwarts. And so, while things might look familiar, if you do a side by side, they're not. We were not trying to make it exactly like the movies.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we approached everything, trying to put our own take on it, but keep it familiar enough that it was recognizable.
Yes, well.
But the grand staircase, I think, is a really good showcase of that. Of course, the tower from the outside is round, and well, so ours was going to be round on the inside.
It may require a bit more flexibility.
And I think we just we don't have the same constraints that a movie might have. We have, I think, video games have literal magic in them, and so I think we just had a lot more possibility to play with magical stairs. And in this game, than we'd previously seen before.
And I think I had like a gameplay thing too, where I'm like, I don't want to wait for stairs.
How do you balance those two things? You don't want to stand and wait for a staircase to go.
That's cool the first time.
Yeah.
We're talking about a lot of time trying to navigate, and you have to get up there, and you're just like, and I think, you know, we have Ignatia Wildsmith with her flute flame, but we also, for the player who didn't want to use fast travel, we wanted you to be able to walk across the castle and feel good about it. And I think that was part of that factor too. If you want to walk up those stairs, you should be able to.
Yeah.
I want to call out. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry. One of the things that I've really appreciated about John, our studio head, is that he always, like, I remember specific conversations about the stairs, where he was like, "It's got to be more magical. Like, do we have enough magic in these moments? We really need to push." And he was always so awesome about pushing to make it just that extra bit cooler and really make sure that we had those. That awe factor.
And balancing magic and function, I think, because I don't know if we necessarily want to go into details on it specifically, but those stairs have been through a lot of iterations.
And you know what? Yeah. Call out to our amazing QA team. I think we made them motion sick more than once as they tested these stairs, because sometimes it would draw out just in front of you enough to like really mess up your.
Well, and I think back in the reveal trailer, even. The function of the stairs appeared different back then, even to what the final execution is here.
A lot of polish has gone into that.
And that again is balancing that magic and function. It had to work for the player.
I like where we landed. I think it's again kind of what we mentioned earlier, being able to do things with stone that you can't do in the Muggle world, and kind of having stone almost grow like a plant. I think was a lot of fun to work with. But yeah, should be fun.
One other question we have here: can we reset talents?
Ooh.
You cannot. So there's.
So think long and hard about the talents that you're. Oh, ghosts. Okay.
I know, I love the ghosts.
Just a tangent here for a moment. I love the ghost wow moments throughout the entire castle because the Hogwarts ghosts are such an iconic part of the castle. And so seeing the random moments like dancing or
they're
one
just
that's
living their life.
chasing the other one through the castle, that's such a good just passes you and you're like, what's going on?
I have some favorites.
Yeah.
Sorry, back to talents.
I will say with the talents, like there are 40 levels you can earn over the course of the game via the field guide, and that means you have quite a few talents, that you can ultimately earn. And so it's impossible to get everything in the talent tree, but we were very confident that with the choices that you can make and all the talents that you can earn, that we weren't worried about whether or not you're kind of like backing yourself into a corner or winding up with a bad build. We did enough testing that we were very confident that whatever choices you made, you'll be able to see most of the talents if you get up to that level, and you're always going to have something that's going to work for you.
But it also matters what you're choosing.
Oh yeah.
But it matters a lot, and a lot of people won't finish the game, anywhere near level 40, and so there's still a lot of story in which ones you pick, and as you compare notes, a lot of differences that players are going to have in terms of how they approach. And one of the things that I love about having played through the game many times is each time I pick like a little bit of a different, like I'm going to try this approach, and then I'm going to try this approach, and then I'm going to try this approach. And I've always enjoyed it, whether it's been like the full dark build or just thinking more like an aura, or I'm going to go ham on stealth, or there's always like a different path that I wind up taking to playing the game. And I know I really love that when I'm playing the game.
Yeah, a lot of people really cared about how the talents felt, and making sure that your playthrough felt different than your friend's playthrough or your family's playthroughs, if that's what you wanted. Like, let's try something unique, and it's cool how they work, and you can still craft it to be your own.
Hello, I am
So we got our first class here, going into charms. We get to meet some new friends.
Can I just say, so I'm excited to see moments from the, following this game for so long, the trailers and seeing Natty, seeing Ronan come in, and I'm excited to see this as I play the game. It's real fun.
Love that Ronan's a Slytherin.
Yeah, so great. His little snakes on the
with me,
right
and
there.
he is so different than any Slytherin you've met before. And the stereotype of Slytherins, and he's like, that can be a Slytherin? Yes, it can. Yes, it can.
And he's a popular, I just noticed he's a very popular professor. Have you met them all?
I have not. So I am partial to Hecate because, especially when y'all did the character cards, I was completely obsessed with her. But
just wait till you learn more about her and her story.
Oh, I can't wait to. I'm gonna talk to all of them, like outside of class, and be like, "Hey, what's up? You remember me? You want to tell me all your secrets?"
And I actually have noticed, like watching people play, like sometimes folks will miss some of those extra conversations with the professors, but when you complete your assignments with them, they often open up a little bit more. And so if you're curious about the professors and you want to know more about them, I definitely recommend.
We have a lot of lore that's extra from what's on that main path.
Yeah. Just if you have after class moments with them, chat a little bit longer. There's some fun stuff in there.
Yeah, I know. You asked her if she'd met all the professors yet. No, because we stole her for launch week
Sorry.
to come here and help us celebrate. Rather than be home playing the game right now.
I'm having the time of my life.
He's like, I'm here with you guys. Jeez.
Feels like high school, where the cool teachers were the ones that all the high school kids would hang out with after class.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, yeah, I'm buddies with this one.
I love how hands-on
That is not bad.
The magic learning is. It's more than just studying from a book. I think those were memorable moments from the books as well. Whenever the students did something really hands-on, whether it was with the boggart or Leviosa with the feathers.
But I also love that we have the moments of the boring class too, like going to history.
We'll get the bin.
We'll get the whole
You need the full
and somehow we got that into a game. Like, you got to go to history magic. Sorry. Like,
There's no choice.
there's so many little details in there, but in the books, the Charms Corridor, right there outside, for some reason it's a favorite haunt of Peeves in the books, and we always wondered why. We tried to show some of that in this world too. Like, what's with Peeves in the Charms Corridor?
So, what better than
And those Peeves interactions and Peeves wow moments are just great.
Shout out to design. I know we saw a little bit of the Peeves concept on the wall with Jeff a little bit earlier, but Peeves, and shout out to Ryan Wood. He's our artist who designed Peeves. Hard task. I think he nailed Peeves so excellently that no one even questions it. Well, of course that's Peeves. That's how he looks. But we've never seen Peeves before. He's such a big part of the books, but we never saw him in the movies. But I love Peeves. Peeves is just
Test on your skills. You know he's all skill. Like, there's no.
Like 50. I'm just gonna be like, hey, yeah, this is Prof Lynette.
How many times have I done this? It's not gonna have any issue.
Oh!
Must have done that up.
The pressure.
I know.
The pressure was on.
What's the secret? At what point do you let go?
Is it in the yellow?
Right when it's hitting that 30 mark.
Halfway in the yellow.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, that's also what I love about the game. So as you progress, they keep mixing it up.
Oh, well.
And the way they mix it up, like you can't rely on that anymore. Yeah. But for the first game, that's our pro tip.
Now you have two people
There's-
playing at the
Yep.
same time, right? Oh.
I love how much thought the design team put into learning the spells, though. Like, how do we make this fun? How do we make this
fun.
like class appropriate but applicable to what
You're going to be using it.
you're going to be using it for?
And it doesn't feel like a tutorial as much as it is
No.
like helping you to learn it.
Yep.
I almost wouldn't even call it a tutorial.
It
just feels
fun.
unfair. to
Tutorials
call
are
it.
supposed to be
It
fun.
can be more than one
It's
thing.
very well integrated.
So we've got a question asking how we came up with the Charmed Compass. Is the official name of it. If chat doesn't know, if viewers don't know, the Charmed Compass is that kind of path that comes out when you're tracking a quest and it tells you where to go. Yeah, I know that's been through a few iterations as well and evolved over time. But yeah, how did you come up with the Charmed Compass?
You really wanted to take me.
That's hoping. That's
I hope so.
It might still go down.
This is another one where the story's gotten a little bit fuzzy. Like I remember some of the iterations of it, but I think ultimately we just wanted to make sure. Ultimately, we wanted to make sure that there was a tie again to the book, and then after a lot of iterations, it became kind of like this paper, this paper coming out, and you can hear the sound as it kind of flits out. And
Going back to the field guide.
yeah, going back
That's
to the
really
field
what
guide.
it ties back to.
Yeah. And just to leave behind this golden trail, the golden compass was just kind of we had like internal dev names for it that were all kind of goofy and silly, and so at some point someone just got real serious and
like this is what it's called now.
There's actually a surprising amount of that in the course of the game, where like we all have really bizarre names for everything all throughout the
Which
game.
has also been very difficult to like sit down in these kinds of scenarios and be like, okay, when we're marketing this, when we're talking about it, when we're in interviews or anything like that,
Don't call it.
make sure we don't say this because that's an internal name. We don't make sure you don't say that.
This is what
Okay,
it's
these
called.
are the official names on release for all these things. So Charmed Compass, yes. I've got one more question here that I can take. Ooh, I like this.
Fun.
Okay. Will there be a soundtrack release? Absolutely, it's available now.
Oh yeah.
It's out now. 'Cause the game's out now.
Can't wait to
It's
grab
global
it.
launch day. The soundtrack. There's actually 2 soundtracks. So there's a Hogwarts Legacy game soundtrack, original soundtrack, and there's one that's kind of like I can't remember the exact name of it now. Somebody maybe can send it to me.
Study or something.
Oh, sorry. It's not available now. It's available in 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
All right.
I'm getting scolding messages here. And also, 3 minutes on PC will be out. Our Steam release will be out, and we will be fully launched on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
Yeah.
Global launch
Alright,
is
y'all.
happening. And also, yes, soundtrack available very, very soon.
Very
Mere minutes away. Check your favorite streaming platforms, audio platforms for that soundtrack release.
Can I buy that anywhere? I mean, I'm still stuck
You
in
mean
the
like in the
past.
stores?
I don't do the streaming
Physical?
music as much. Yeah, I want a physical something.
Learn to Google. I believe there are, but I don't have enough details right here to feel comfortable talking about. In a live
I'm sorry
space,
to put you in this position.
But
I was honestly just asking.
there may be options for that.
I blew it.
I will just say check out the Hogwarts Legacy Twitter, because we're going to be doing a lot of announcements and everything there regarding soundtrack and releases and celebrating launch and everything, so you can find some details there as well.
I can't wait to get to know classmates as well. She's so nice.
And I love her story and the fact that we get to the transfer from Ouagadougou and how different their culture of magic is too, and how that's integrated into her story, and the fact that her mother is also a professor at the school, and so you get a lot of dynamic and a really interesting story with her.
Yeah, there's a lot of side missions where they'll vary tremendously in terms of like how much energy we're put into things that aren't required over the course of the game, like what we call our main quest. But some of our side missions have as much or more energy, just kind of like dev energy put into them than some of the main missions. And so there's a real feast there. Like a lot of people might skip over things like the relationship missions, but I think they're definitely worth looking out for. Obviously, if you're interested in the dark arts, they're definitely worth looking out for.
Just go buddy up this Sebastian and see where he takes you. There's some ominous stuff on that quest.
Yeah, but with characters like you're fracking Troy off.
And I think if Shannon's watching right now, I'm probably getting a little cheer from that team as well.
No, they did incredible work. But yeah, if there's characters like Natty and Poppy and Seb that are definitely, I think definitely some of my favorite moments are in those missions. So.
It seems very dramatic.
And just like ones are dramatic.
It's nice to
really unique with each of those characters too, between like Natsai, Poppy, Sebastian, and just how different each of their stories are, and how you said enough work went in that they're not main Golden Path. I think their first one, kind of introducing them and before you branch off to their quest line, is on that Golden Path. But you don't have to choose to continue to pursue that.
If you think about it, like we don't always know kind of what's the internal narrative that you're running with your character. Like occasionally we have ways to kind of get cues from your choices.
Okay.
But in a lot of cases, the characters kind of exist in a way to express yourself. Like Poppy is kind of this way, and so it's kind of like if you pursue that, then it's your way of saying like I'm more interested in this, or I'm more interested in that. And so we wanted to make sure that the characters themselves were potentially reflections of where players themselves wanted to go, and things that they might want to try.
I mean, I have my favorite NPC, just by walking by and how they interact with me. So sometimes I am a little mean, or I choose the snarky option, and things don't go well after that.
That's awesome.
And that's something we talked about before too in the past with like Zenobia and her quest.
I'm a Zenobia fan.
You're a Zenobia fan. The rest of us are like, no, we're gonna keep your gobstones. Like you seem
I gave them back.
mean,
I just want to see what
nice.
happens. Honestly.
I've been fortunate.
It's really these moments about, or these moments that define your character even in those subtle ways, and that you can define who you are as the student there. And are you going to be a little bit of that bully? Are you going to be, what does that look like? And even if it's not a choice that impacts this overarching narrative, causing all of these vast repercussions, it's also just defining you, which for you personally and your legacy, I would argue that does have vast repercussions for yourself. And defining yourself as maybe you are that mean person, or maybe you're just being mean because You don't want her to be mean to anybody else.
Well, okay, I guess.
The no talent moon mind? Oof, that's a harsh criticism there.
She just needs a little, help with the. Don't call people losers. Don't call them no talent moon mind.
Name calling's not nice.
It's not nice.
I really like no talent moon mind.
It's a great phrase.
Yeah. Also, this is a video game, so try out some cool stuff.
Yeah.
See how
well,
that
actually,
fun.
I have different save files, so sometimes I'll go back and I'll be like, well, what if I was nice? Like, what if I said something different? Because I'm just like, okay, I just, I can do whatever.
I like this, actually, Andrew, I'm going to give you this moment.
Andrew.
It's your favorite crew, the crew behind you here. The Breakfast Club.
The Hogwarts Breakfast Club.
The Hogwarts Breakfast Club. They're hanging out. They're like, just chilling. And again, the way that we built life into this school in a way that we've talked before about the Dada Tower and how it is like the high society tower and kind of the Slytherins.
Well, it's a high school, but during Victorian era, and that was a really hard story to tell because what we think of as high school just isn't Victorian. Like it's hard to make the two fit together. And so it's little moments like this where I think we're trying to give you enough to tell that story. Because Victorian era, there are what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, and drinking tea would have been very good. So, anyway.
But yeah, the classical music playing.
Yeah.
We imagine this is where the pure bloods.
And we put the Slytherins there. Well, not just Slytherins, the pure blood kind of neighborhood we'd call it. But we'd imagine they'd kind of lean on the rails and kind of
look below. Hover over.
We wanted to give them places where they'd look down. And
you're coming up to Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Exactly.
But just the idea that different people have different favorite areas, and Hogwarts have found kind of their hangout spot. It's, hopefully you go find your hangout spot. This is my special nook.
It's my favorite professor.
To the wise, age matters very
so far.
Today we will review a
I'm partial.
that has saved me
Yeah.
from death
Like I said,
at the hands of dark wizards.
I haven't met everyone yet.
Learn her story.
I can't wait.
Levioso.
This.
A levitation charm.
Levioso.
Oh,
wow.
Opponent is a weak opponent.
In your face.
Yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the
There's that mocap action again.
Yeah.
Had to have somebody drop to the
I
ground.
think the mocap people are so cool. Like, everyone's so cool.
No, it's funny after watching the people at the studio and the actors who have been in the mocap suits and done various things with this, because we have had actors come in, but we've also had some people on the dev team, some of the animators and stuff are also some of the people doing the mocap work. And to see them like walk around and then to see people, NPCs in the game walk around, I can almost see certain people's mannerisms, and I'm like, I know which characters you did because I can see
who's walked better.
Your mannerisms, your gait, kind of the way that you walk.
You can tell which animator played a dragon.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Well, I want to shout out Matt Dibb and Joe Percival, because for most of our spell casting and combat casts and interactions and reactions, those guys were, not only directing it but suited up, doing it here, because we knew we had to have a specific continuity, and so it couldn't be just whoever was there that day. Like, we had to get them in, we had to do it, and they had that vision of how do we make it feel natural? How do we make it flow? How do we, we research the movies, and I think I mentioned briefly Paul Harris, right? The dueling choreographer from the films. We actually watched all those together and picked the right moves, and then came in here and tried to act out what we could, and
with our own unique flair.
Yes,
too.
with our own unique flair. And they are developers here in this studio that are doing this stuff. It's just so cool to work with. It's like, you'll see it right here.
Okay.
I'm reminded of I'd forgotten about this, but we had to fit that dragon skeleton in this classroom, and you know how big our dragon is? That Hebridean black dragon is massive. And so we had a fun art challenge of
trying to make that skeleton here.
So you can actually get his health bar all the way down.
You can?
But also Andrew just loves let's just push him back off the edge. let's end this in the if you don't you just kind of like at the end. But the ring out I think with the paper the pages all flying everywhere. It's a nice little touch.
Yep. I like that your own little challenges.
Yeah. I just love seeing those papers fly. It's a nice touch. It's a nice fun moment. Like, oh, cool! I got the special.
Yep.
Win.
And that has been fun. I want to call out again major props to Andrew and the work that he's done in capturing a lot of stuff, and the way that within that and how much he has to play this game and play the same parts over again and look at the same things constantly for various things. How he still finds ways to keep it fresh and fun and exciting. And I think we were talking about the ASMR videos recently and how you've hidden your fun Easter eggs in those in ways that you're just like, this isn't just an environment, but also, hey, little thing in the corner here.
There's just so much. There's just so much. And the whole team just makes it easy to capture things, so it's great.
Again, testament, to the team, to the whole studio.
And in terms of challenges, I keep coming up with new ways to sort of like push my own skills and my own thing.
Oh yeah, you've played this game
a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Troy when I say this, and maybe a little bit to some of the community when I say this. But like,
you're gonna pose a challenge.
I kind of want to.
Yeah,
because it's fun to play the game with things like always trying to get a perfect parry like every time. But the one that I found a lot of fun in one of my playthrough was the hard mode no potion.
Hard mode no potion.
Yeah. So that's like it's like the no Wiggenweld, no power ups, it's just like
no cooldown potions.
I will watch other people do that for sure.
I haven't done the no talent one. Maybe that's it.
No talent playthrough. No talent moon mine. Full circle. That's the official name for it.
There's gonna be a trophy, a badge.
Community.
Somebody
many of you do. The No Talent Moon Mine Challenge. There you go.
Why didn't we think of this earlier to make an achievement out of it?
All right, I really quickly want to call out as well the site for Twitch drops. It is the direct link for that is pinned in the Twitch chat. So again, Twitch drops. Want to call that out. Make sure people are getting their drop. The Merlin cloak and the variety of other items. There's some fun and silly items. I think we have the dragon glasses as one of the Twitch drops. Those are always fun to see in cutscenes too. You're like, whoa.
I've seen some pretty awesome costumes that people have gone through the game with.
Yeah.
I have a creepy mask on.
Which one?
It's just plain white, and it's like porcelain looking. It's shiny. The way that and I just look ridiculous as I'm talking to people. My mouth is like kind of moving underneath it, but you can't see anything.
There's also the Niffler mask. Oh yeah, the Niffler mask. I think it is. That's really goofy looking.
So. That's actually, I had a friend text me this morning. I think he started playing this morning. It's like, I have to go back to the real world and go to work today. But I got through Hogsmeade. But he actually also, just to make sure that people know, you don't have to wear something just for the stats. No. You can choose how you look while you still get the stats wherever you want. And he called it out to me and he said, thank you so much for not making me wear that I can still choose how I look.
And in case you don't know, cursor over your gear.
Hover.
Over your gear slot, and then
square
on the PlayStation.
Or change appearance.
Look for the thing that says change appearance.
Change appearance will change the appearance of your gear, whereas changing the actual gear changes the gear with all the stats attached.
Equipping.
We'll have Andrew for us.
We have live gameplay.
The game here.
Go back. Why not? So change appearance, and then on the cloaks and robes too. There is a
dark arts. Dark
arts.
I'm just backseating Andrew now.
I love it.
And the animation. Oh, it's so.
And then back out, Andrew. And so when you hover over cloaks and robes in particular, there's also another button you can press to
the hood.
Put your hood on.
The hood looks, yes. I
know that was a question for a really long time. We didn't.
It's easy to miss.
Confirm it. Easy to miss, but yeah, you can. So here we go. Dark Arts cloak with the hood on. You just got done with Defense Against Dark Arts. You're like, okay.
Yeah, I'm in. Come on, Sebastian. Where are we going next?
No defense against. Yeah. Just embody it now.
Just
Can I throw another pro tip? I just feel like throwing one out.
Yeah,
go for it.
So, Troy put in some great work in the enemy use and the enemy design.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, like, I've seen a lot of people playing through where they're never quite reviewing the field guide and information in there, or they're not necessarily looking at the dueling feats that are in the corner. Oftentimes your favorite streamer's got their face over a dueling feat. But there's information in there that is really, really valuable in combat. So they can take encounters where I've seen people just going like, oh, these things, how do I get through them?
Yeah.
You know, they're so tanky, they're so rough, or whatever it is. But like, if only they knew there's a way to kind of like
Read
drop
the
it into
information.
Let's pull that up
Yeah.
actually and look at some of those things. Actually, that was a very cool changing
Yeah.
hedge over there. Very cool. But let's pull
It will
that
be
up.
in challenges, or sorry, in collections. But the second one from the left is our enemy roster. We haven't bumped up against things in this playthrough yet, but
This is where you'll find it.
as they
right?
filter in, the information here is not trivial, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it will empower you in your no talent moon mine run.
Totally. Yes. I'll just say that this is the Ravenclaw flavor to combat. The way that I think of it is researching,
I love it.
understanding, and then putting those into practice at just the right moment with just the right spell.
Yeah.
Feels nice and juicy. Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing, Deke. Perhaps you could help.
Foreshadowing.
I know, I love it.
The stuff too, where the little guys.
I know. I love it.
There you are.
And I think here's one of those moments where you start grading up against you're finding that tension between Weasley and Fig.
This is not the first time she's asked us, and I'm just like, don't you see my robe?
She's like, oh, you've had an interesting first day, huh? Never seen an interesting day.
Do I tell? No.
Yeah.
No, what's going on?
I mean, it requires a bit of suspension of disbelief, but I always love like standing in front of a professor in a full suit of armor.
Best disguise ever. Go stand in.
Just like
you'll just disappear.
The dialogue lines that fill out and make you feel like, oh yeah, I'm in this world. You know, it's like pulling a sonnet from a Streeler.
Yes.
Like, if you know, right? It's so cool. You're gonna go look up what does that even mean.
Well,
if
so
you
there
don't.
there new idioms? Is that what I mean? Do
I
y'all
don't
know how that
I can't
was?
say if there are new ones for sure.
I assume there are.
Because there are like, of course, common ones
There
that
have
we've
to be.
heard before, but some of
Mara's
them are
probably
just
screaming at the screen.
Help me!
So yeah, just amazing writing. It's so fun to see
There's a
all
whole
these
lot of
things.
Merlin's beard.
Lots
Lots of Merlin's beard, and Godric's heart. And
Godric's heart, yeah.
I'm eager to get to Hogsmeade.
Very well. I'd like you to make your first visit to the village with a classmate. Help you get your bearings. Perhaps
And there are folks like the game has an intentionally slower pace to start with. You know, like we wanted the intro to be pretty action packed and kind of give a sense of where it's going to go. And then things do slow down at school because we felt like they should. You know, like this is what does it mean to be at Hogwarts, and you need to be a student. You need to acclimate. You need to have that same feeling like Harry did when he first came to the castle.
Yeah.
Really feel all that. But I think for those that if they are chomping at the bit, you know, there's plenty of ways to
Get through it quickly and get to Hogsmeade.
Get through, because there is a point where the world really opens up for you, and where it really does just kind of like feel like wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, and so. But there are ways to get there fast. Go ahead and use those if that's more your style. You know, or soak in it if this is everything you've been waiting for. I definitely fit in the soak in it camp. I feel like the more you pay attention, the more the game gives back. But I know it's not for everybody.
Yeah. Well, also I had, when I first played this, I went to every single chest, and then I was like, wait, I'm full. What do I do? I'm like, okay, you gotta keep going. You can't just scour everything in the castle. I love this animation, the little birds up there that he's doing.
Does he have a field?
Everyone.
And why did he just fold all his pages into paper crayon? You know, it's like I don't need this.
No.
Just
fixes things right up, makes a broken object good as new in the blink of an eye.
Spells.
It seems as if that might come in.
Yeah, even now we're getting quite close. So we're leading up to the Hogsmeade mission that we did in the stream on Tuesday.
Earlier this week, we played Hogsmeade, so that's where, you know, you're kind of getting a sense of that slowish start, that immersive start, getting yourself into school, like you said, soaking into school and in the environment of school. And we honestly haven't even done much exploration. Andrew's been over here pretty consistently going, if a marker pops up on the screen, I'm going there, I'm going to do this. So you can
explore everywhere in the castle, like from the moment Weasley drops you off in Central Hall. That's probably where Lynette got lost.
Yeah,
I have a funny story about Transfiguration Courtyard here. I think it's regularly called Transfiguration Courtyard because it's where we know Malfoy was transfigured into a ferret. But that was, you know, in 1995. So we very specifically made sure to put the Transfiguration classroom directly off this courtyard so that we could call it Transfiguration Courtyard.
So the name
and we were very careful, like it is the only classroom directly off this courtyard, so that it is now officially Transfiguration Courtyard and not because of an event
in the future.
100 years from
That is so
Can I just say, this is an example of Hogwarts banter with Boston.
Yes.
Boston fan mom. Here you have it.
And it's those little little details that we thought through and that people would bring up, and you know, like our internal work chats are constantly like somebody bringing up like a piece of lore, like the most subtle things that you're like, how did this one person notice that? But when you have a whole team of people who are passionate about all of this lore, and somebody looks in a corner and says, oh, well, this little thing over here wouldn't be here.
And our artist, Jake, made all the shapes and the arches slightly butterfly shaped, just to kind of feel more transfiguration-ish. And it just like if transfiguration has kind of a theme, well, butterflies, frogs, and all these things that naturally transfigure, it's very just subtly placed in the architecture.
You blew my mind just there with things that naturally transfigure. Just that notion. I'm like, oh my gosh, there is a theme.
Who do you learn transfiguration from? From butterflies.
That's so cool.
Is there a reason there's a lot of butterflies, like literally everywhere?
Weasley.
Okay.
Follow them.
Follow them.
Yes.
Follow the butterflies.
They just played around. Some are moths. Totally different.
Okay. Yeah, there's bees too, right?
Yep.
I like that when you get a spell, you're like,
Yeah.
Yes! I got this.
I like the little GIF-like animation that shows you what happens, because that's also in the spell menu that shows you, like, this is what the spell does, and you can, if you want to have, like, a little reference of, like, what is this again?
I will have you know that Andrew helped to capture and implement a lot of those, so some more props to Andrew for helping get those in there. It's a good shout out that you like them.
I do like it.
Like, oh, my work is appreciated.
I looked at it and I was like, oh, nice.
It took quite a few people to coordinate all that and make that all happen really well. But yes, I know Andrew spent a lot of time getting all those animations perfectly, and yeah.
Can I just share a tiny anecdote on that? Capturing videos of what we make is like the most painful part of the job for me, and so truly, I cannot tell you how much I have appreciated Andrew once he became that guy that somehow, unfortunately, that task fell upon for so long, because it is painstaking to make sure everything is just right, with just the right lighting and just the right positioning. So yeah, well done, and huge effort.
Having to do things without UI on a lot of the times too.
Yeah,
so
right.
you're like, okay, I hope I do this right. It was a lot, but yeah, amazing work.
But it's this painting.
You guys are too kind.
Oh, Lenore.
No, mean it 100%.
So as a Ravenclaw, we're just meeting her.
Yes.
But as a Hufflepuff, you'll meet her in your common room beforehand.
Which is, again, the fascinating, those little differences between the houses, where it's not, I wouldn't say drastically different, but you do get a different experience to the extent of you've met Amit, for example, as a Ravenclaw now, which you wouldn't have otherwise. You will meet him later. He will be an additional part of your legacy and your story, but...
Yeah, you maintain the continuity of, like, okay, we already did this.
If I can work out the riddle of this one, I'll know what to do with all of them. As good a place as
What was the process, if anybody knows, of coming up with all the names of all these individual NPCs?
Some of them are tied to like family names, but a lot of them are not. Do y'all know?
They all started out named after devs, and we
Legal's like, no.
I feel like you know more of the story than I do when it comes to the ones that connect to lore.
Oh, yeah.
For the other ones, I think people, I'm quite positive that the story team just wanted to try and capture as much of that, the fun with words, that a little bit foreshadow characters, or feel, just kind of
There's
feel
such
a little bit
flavor
like
to
who they are.
The world and the names.
And that's a bit of an art, but I'm positive the team was trying to capture some of that spirit.
Gregory the Smart.
And where does this fit into lore?
It was just so fun to realize some of the characters. Well, and we had to be careful how we did this because we never knew if the names of statues that popped up in books were most likely what students called them. Like, he probably doesn't actually have a plaque calling himself Gregory the Smarmy. That's just like, well, students would say,
that's a smarmy
tall
statue.
guy, or
that
tall
First
guy.
word that pops in my head.
Someone made up a nickname for a statue and got passed down the line and just became tradition. But it's not like he'd actually have that on his plaque. But so we kind of walked a balance there. But it's so fun to meet some of these. It was so fun actually to realize what some of these statues looked like that we'd heard about from.
I want that on my desk now, like Alan the Moon Mind.
Alan He is talented, though, so he's only the moon.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll accept the full thing.
Talented moon mind.
You got to complete the run if you want that title. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
I'll do
yeah.
I'm not telling.
I like that Alan
I'm
Tew.
not telling.
Alan Tew. Hey.
Not
Alan also has been giving the community the favorite Alan mannerisms today. I've been noticing that. It's been
Oh, what did I
great.
do?
It's been
Oh my
wonderful.
goodness.
It's been a lot of great hand movement. Great classic Alan. Sorry.
I'm gonna scowl. I'm gonna sulk.
More scowling. All the scowling.
More to come.
You don't understand him unless there's a gesture. It happens.
Absolutely. And I will. The added flavor that gives to as he's explaining a concept or something like that, and you're like,
Stop it.
I get you.
Just
I get you.
I just got called an infuriating know-it-all by Laura.
really?
Yeah, I told Andrew to be mean.
You're like, I figured this out. Why didn't you? Well, Andrew's continuing to play through here. I think we are starting to wrap it up. I do want to call out that we are going to raid everybody, so stick around because you're going to raid over to another channel. You can continue watching people play Hogwarts Legacy, celebrating launch day. It's a big thing.
What?
But before we get out of here, I know we wanted to do
Another round.
Another round. Hopefully somebody gets a bad one here. We'll
The
see.
second motorcycle jump.
Yes.
But I'll go.
The first one landed too well.
And I also want
color
to
is
call
it?
out.
Kind of pinkish. I'm feeling good about that.
I swear there are bad beans in here.
Yeah, but bubblegum, I can live with that.
All right. Let's see what happens.
General
You guys tell me
Twitch
what I
drops.
got.
Ooh, that doesn't look good.
It's good.
Good how?
Good for the stream or good for Alan to eat? That's
No, the question is, do you know what flavor this is? Because sometimes I'm like, oh, this is candy.
Yes, it is. Sugar.
That's where I'm landing today.
you don't look disgusted.
No.
I'm still
Just
I'm
think
still
about it,
detecting
though.
the sweet.
Okay.
Thinking about it.
Like grass?
No, it's watermelon.
Watermelon.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm like,
Actually, I like the grass flavor. It's kind of weird.
Take the
Okay.
That's
red
what
team.
you had last time.
No, this is a fruity one.
Oh,
Yeah,
cherry.
it's not cinnamon. So I'm almost disappointed. Like I wanted.
You know,
the-
I'm going to search for. I'm going to cheat and get. Wait, what
Green.
kind?
Sorry?
Oh yeah. That's what Alan had.
Oh,
Oh,
someone?
thank-
No, watermelon.
enjoy
Andrew, get
the
in here.
Yeah, that's
You-
what-
you need one.
Andrew.
I'll be the one that gets like the bad one. Do it. I'll dig.
You can
Bad
make
beat.
faces off screen.
Bad beat.
Bad bee.
Watermelon again?
Maybe.
I think it is.
All right.
And then your only hope.
Oh, I see a bad one right
No.
on top.
Why would you do that?
Because someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Shake it, make her pick one.
Okay.
Grab the bad bean.
Yep.
Can we spin the wand? Who gets to eat the bad bean?
Okay, that seems a little. I'll do it.
It took so long to stop. We'd be here for a while.
Okay. Oh, I think
It doesn't look
I
bad.
feel like we're mistreating you.
It doesn't look bad. Please don't say it's earthworm or something.
Is that the wand?
Vomit flavor.
Thank you for
Take
bringing
it.
that.
Take
Just remember, it's all,
Thank you.
just remember it's
Thank
sugar.
Yeah, that's sugar.
Sugar. It's fine. Okay, we're good. We're good.
But it's sugar. All right. I also want to call out our general Twitch drops are still active on the Hogwarts Legacy category. They are active until February 24th, so you can continue to earn those. And maybe we'll try and give a few additional opportunities at some point on the Avalanche software channel to earn that Merlin's cloak if you haven't gotten it yet. We'll see what we can do for you. But yeah, so how are you guys feeling? Again, let's go back to this. We talked about it at the top.
Start to a good day.
Yeah.
We talked about it at the top. We talked about its global launch day. Even more so now, the game is out on PC. The soundtrack is out there. We are really celebrating launch. And after this whole conversation, how are we all feeling now? Let's start, Boston. How are you feeling right now?
I'm really grateful. I'm just feeling really grateful. This has been a fun project to work on. Really grateful that I never dreamed of getting to work on a project like this. So just really grateful to be here. Grateful that we got to this day. And grateful to just the community out there who's made this really, really fun.
Yeah, we're fans. That's how it started. We're just like, we love this world, and the idea that we could make something like this in it was mind-blowing just as an idea. And then when it came to fruition, it got even more mind-blowing and also way scarier. Just because then you really don't want to be the people that screwed it up. And there's a lot of relief in how it seems like it's being received so far. And but honestly, it's just kind of like we're fans, and we know it's for a lot of fans. And so it's incredible being on the couch with you and just kind of like
oh my gosh, I'm like fangirl. I'm trying to be fangirl.
You've been doing such a good job.
It's the exact same thing for us. So it's like we're all just excited to talk about it. So I think for us that connection is like amazing. It's just like here's us, and here's everybody, and there's this connection.
It doesn't feel like there's really a separation.
Yeah, we're just we're geeking out as much as you are. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I think gratitude is probably the number one thing to have the opportunity to work on this property that so many people across the world love. Like, my wife was so giddy when I could finally tell her what I was working on, and just seeing that moment and being like, oh my gosh, that's going to be everyone once this thing finally releases. Having that opportunity has just been we're so fortunate and so lucky and grateful to have that opportunity.
You've heard it a lot here, but I also just want to just restate how much gratitude, I keep saying proud papa, but gratitude for the team, and because we just represent a tiny fraction of everyone going into this, and we can't help but think about all the energy that our team poured.
There's so many names we would have liked to have called out that deserve being called out.
Names, people I would have loved to rotate through here.
Yeah, we just don't have time for them. Glad we have the credits at the end.
Yeah. You'll see how we don't have time.
Yeah.
Andrew, I don't want to leave you out of this. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, great. I mean, I feel like we can finally share all the stuff that we've learned and all the secrets and stuff, and people are finally able to discover them on their own, and we can start talking about it as a community and start sharing stories. So the floodgates have opened, and it's awesome that there's so much love being shown. So it's great.
Sharing stories, keyword, right?
Yes.
I think that's the next exciting chapters, people to share stories.
How does it feel? How to launch the game?
Yeah, I mean, how are you feeling being here with us? Thank you. From me, if I was going to answer this question, it would be the reason that we have Lynette here with us today and helping us to celebrate the launch, and something, that I've said before, but that's been a big focus for me and for the marketing team, and what we've wanted to do is connect with our community and that support that you've given us, and we wanted to give that back to you. Yeah, so thank you so much, and thank you to everybody that's watching right now and who has watched in the past, or maybe is watching this on replay, or who isn't watching because they're playing the game right now.
Right now, literally.
Which is also completely okay. Again, sorry for stealing you to be here instead of
It's fine. I will play this game many, many times. Y'all are literal witches and wizards for making something so incredible. I think all of stuff I've seen, even though I haven't played all the way through, but I've seen people tell me about their experiences, seeing people come up with their own literal story of who they are and what they are exploring in Hogwarts is amazing. I think that it's well deserved. You literally have made dreams come true. I'm gonna get emotional, but longtime fan for everyone, not just longtime fans, but a solid, excellent game that is fun and amazing and magical. And I think y'all deserve all of the praise.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
If you ever change your mind, let us know.
Oh my goodness.
So yes, thank you to everybody. I think we're gonna wrap it up here in the studio. We're gonna go celebrate with the rest of the studio. I think we've got some lunch planned and stuff, but while we go do that, we're gonna send all of our viewership here on Twitch, raid you all off to another streamer here who's playing the game. So have fun with that, and we will see you all later. Thank you
to the fans.
So
Thank
much.
you to all of you.
Woo!